me and Ryan have been officially welcomed to the jungle that is Barstool Sports.
Our white whale, Sidney Crosby.
Shave his head! Shave his head! Shave his head!
Ryan Whitney, Paul Bissonette, R.A., Mike Grinelli, Spittin Chiclets!
What is up, folks? Welcome to the second episode of the week. It's playoff time, baby. Episode 555 of Spittin Chiclets, presented by Pink Whitney. Whether it's the big old bottle, the little shooters, the little nips, the Mickey biz, they call it the Mickey in Canada. We got all sizes. It's one flavor, but we got all sizes. It tastes phenomenal, and it's summertime's coming. We're not there yet. We're in spring, but the warmer the weather, the better the Pink Whitney. And I'm telling you guys, if you haven't given it a try yet, just go give it a shot. Mix in a water in between every drink, but go give it a shot. No pun intended. And Pink Whitney's the drink for you, and this is the podcast for you. And what is going on, guys? How you doing?
After that read of the Pink Whitney, I mean, there's no better person to do it.
Well, he's not reading. That's off the top of the dome.
Yeah,
I'm going dome piece there. I'm going
that
dome
B
piece.
rabbit.
We could get into my dome piece.
You got a lot going on with your dome.
We got a hair dye controversy. But Biz, what's going on with you?
Just had the final regular season broadcast for TNT. We handed out Mr. TNT Award. Obviously, Ovi took it down. 7 goals on the TNT broadcast this year. A few of them empty netters, but nonetheless, every time he was on the broadcast, he delivered. It was a great night. We all had our tuxedos on. I was getting chirped online. One Vegas Golden Knights fan was saying, this is the only guy who makes a tux look bad on the planet. Says he should be parking my fucking car. So I brought him up on the broadcast and started chirping him. And then
I
Hank,
saw you tell him
course,
too, it's a rental.
It's a rental. It's a rental. Straight.
It looked
That one's going right back. I'm not paying for it. And of course, Hank looked unbelievable. Not a hair out of place.
Yeah, and he owns his for sure, I think.
He's got like 3 tuxedos.
7. Yeah.
Or 7, but actually 3 now because he was talking about it on the broadcast. He cleaned out his closet. 27 suits he took out of his closet to, like, I don't know if he's going to donate them or where he's got like a secondhand store that they would. I'm sure his fucking used suits could go for like $1,500, $2,000. Fuck, I might buy them.
His used undies could go for big dough.
Oh, imagine the ladies lined up to buy his used undies.
Oh, it'd be deranged.
Yeah. Speaking of jock sniffers, they'd be fucking sniffing his crotches. But I might just like lose a little bit of weight and ask him to donate them to me.
We're going more health. Buddy,
Yeah.
I don't think you can get in better shape. I know I'm pumping your tires. I don't love doing that, but
I know, but to fit in Hank's
Or he
suits, I
can't
might
get any
just stop
cheaper,
eating.
too.
I might just stop eating because my suits are so bad.
And Hank
But,
probably
hey,
got those suits for free too, you know. And they're probably all big money suits, but he's just there's designers out there. Like, who's a famous designer? Give me a name. Giovanni something. Versace's probably like, hey, dude, I saw you in this, like, on the subway or in this commercial in Sweden. I was in Sweden doing a fashion show. Like, let me give you a suit. Actually, let me give you 10.
Remember Tiger? All the Swedish guys used to wear the Tiger suits.
Yeah.
That was the name of the company. Yeah,
I just remember that guy in
tight
Montreal.
around the ankles.
Oh, so tight. You couldn't even get circulation to your toes. That's how tight those fucking pants were. Lauri Koprikoski used to wear them. Sammy Lapisto used to wear them.
Think he didn't.
Who's actually Sammy's been doing some Swedish media lately.
Yeah,
he's
great.
He's awesome.
I
think
he
it's
was a
Finnish
Finn.
media, though. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Oh, Finnish. You're right. God damn it. I fucked that one up. Both of those guys are Finns. But I think Tiger of Sweden, those suits, the Finnish guys would wear them. That's
Does
where they would.
Does Merle's have one? No chance, right? Merle's has one.
with
He's
those
got the
quads?
Muzzy Fords. He's got the used car salesman, Muzzy Ford.
Speaking, we were talking about the dome piece on Hank. What's this controversy? I was not online all day today, and apparently there's been like a bunch of viral moments going on the fact that you've been dyeing your hair or something.
Okay.
First the spray tan, now this.
The spray. I don't dye my hair. Let me repeat this right now. I don't know why it looks like balding. Yes. Acne at 42 years old. Yes. Big one huge left ear. Yes. Hair dye. No. I repeat. I don't know why it looks like Grinelli asked me years ago, dude, it looks like you dye your hair. I said, no, I don't know what it is about the Zoom. And today on the Unnamed show, I saw some of the funniest memes putting me next to Creed from The Office with jet black hair. There was another one with me next to Rudy Giuliani with the hair dye dripping down his forehead.
Oh, no.
So what happened, Portnoy's getting fat, not just chubby, he's fat, and he's lashing out. And now he's just getting on top of these internet personality people, making fun of me. Very funny. I don't know. Can you guys tell in person that I don't dye my hair? But it looks
100%.
like that
I will say forever, for as long as you've been getting grays.
Look at the grays on the side.
I know, but whenever you get a haircut, it looks like you dyed it. So did you get a haircut recently?
I got a haircut yesterday. I got a haircut
Every
yesterday.
time you get a haircut, it looks darker. I don't know why. Maybe it just like shaves down the grays a little bit or whatever it is, but it always looks darker when you get a haircut.
Okay, so now it's like, I think no matter what I say, I'm in one because people are gonna say, you do it, you won't admit it. But I'm looking at the camera right now. I promise you, if I dyed my hair, I'd admit it. If I did it, I'd admit it. No hair dye. Balding,
Just
acne,
swear on Squanto.
I swear on Squanto. I don't like swearing on my kids, right? Like I don't find. I swear on anything.
If you're not lying, what's the big deal?
Look, I don't know why it looks
So,
like
Whit,
that.
actually, when I do the TNT broadcast, sometimes I have people like message me on Twitter saying that you dye your hair, and like I've never dyed my hair in my entire life. So I just think it has a lot to do with maybe like the lighting and whatever Zoom you're on, or whatever camera's hitting you a certain way. But I can for certain say when I see you in person, your hair is horrible. There's no way you're dyeing your salad.
It might,
like, no offense.
it might look
It's a
darker because your
horrible
face
salad.
is so white.
That
Your face
may
is
be
so white that it's
may be it, but it's like I said, I got a bunch of things that aren't exactly pretty. But I don't no hair dye. I repeat, no hair dye. Okay? So this is exactly what people probably wanted to hear leading into round 1 of the playoffs in our second playoff preview. But I had to get ahead of that. No hair dye. Guys,
we believe you.
thank you so much. So incredible night of hockey last night.
Yeah.
The Montreal Canadiens got it done. And it came down to the wire. Enough where I bet on the Canadiens last night. I was very confident. I also bet on them against Chicago. And they're up 3-1. And I'm like, I don't know. Boom, 3-2 Carolina. I'm like, this is not good. Now, for my bet, I was very nervous because I'm like, they may lose this game. I had a money line. But they just needed a point. So I was like, can Carolina get 2 more goals and win this thing in regulation? I don't think so. But what a game by Caden Gooley. They lost him for a little while with the cut he had. And getting him back, it like completely changes their defense. Young stud. And Lane Hudson, guys, he tied the record for the most assists in the history of the league by a rookie defenseman. He had 60 apples, Keith. My best season was 45, which maybe nothing to shrug at. And considering they were all second assists, it's not nearly as close to impressive as Lane Hudson getting 60 as a rookie.
Yeah, it goes in. I think you were one of the first guys to kind of tell me about him, and must have been the BU days and stuff. But he just looks so. I've never seen a rookie defenseman, and I'm very interested to see because usually the defensemen have their sophomore slumps, but I've never seen a young D-man just look so comfortable. And not just offensively, like he's a smaller guy, but he still looks comfortable defensively. He's in good position. I think he just trusts his skating so much that he just never feels like he could get beat or that he's out of position. And the head on his shoulders is insane, just how he sees the game. Every single play he makes is the correct play, and he's not overdoing a lot of things, even though he does have, stretches where he's toe dragging guys dancing around on the blue, but he's not really trying to do too much too often. It just comes naturally to him. So this guy is going to be a force to be reckoned with for the next 20 years, hopefully.
Youngest team to make playoffs since the 80-81 Oilers too. So very impressive what they were able to do. Yeah, 25 and a half years old. So I don't know how many people had St. Louis winning the Jack Adams, but he definitely entered himself in the conversation in the back half of that season. Since the I believe it was since the trade deadline or Four Nations, but I want to say trade deadline. Like I would say it was neck and neck, a 3-way race. Michkov kind of dropped off, I would say, for Philly Like maybe he had a good start, but he dropped off. So it was a 3-headed race between Dustin Wolf, Celebrini, and Lane Hudson. Since the trade deadline, Lane Hudson was second in points, 16, only behind Macklin Celebrini, who had 17. He led all rookies in ice time with 24 minutes of average ice time since the trade deadline. So down the stretch, having to win all those fucking games, going against tough matchups, putting up all those points and putting 24 minutes of ice each night, remarkable. And also led the way with plus minus, which some people say like, that's a misleading stat. Well, when you're plus 13 and you're lugging that much ice and there's no escaping tough matchups, I think hands down, he's the Calder winner and a huge reason as to why they made playoffs. You have to fucking tip your cap to Suzuki too. He's probably their MVP. He was a Four Nations snub. I believe didn't even get a phone call when he didn't make the team. So I guess he took that personally. Cole Caulfield, who was fucking unbelievable. So just really nice to see this young team find a way to squeak into playoffs. And I texted the group chat as well, like Slavkovsky, like just watching him go after loose pucks and battling, man, like this kid's starting to figure it out. And G sent the text as well, like the comments that he made just being inspired by watching Brady Tkachuk and how he was playing and using his size. Like it's clear that message has been received, and he's looked like even a better player since the Four Nations as well. So not even necessarily saying points. I'm talking about the compete, right? That's like when you're, especially come playoff time, when you're going for those loose pucks along the wall, he's got that size to use, and he's been using it more wisely as of late. So I still see Washington winning that series, but that Montembeault, man, he could maybe steal them a series. You never know. He's been excellent as well. So congrats to the Montreal Canadiens. Demidov maybe a little quieter in his second game.
He still had a couple shifts that were incredible.
Very
Electric.
dominant. Just not like that first night, but there was no doubt there was going to be a little bit of a come down given all the travel and chaos that he's been through the last week here. So Montreal is in. I think before we get to the other matchups and other storylines, also with Robertson going down, Columbus Blue Jackets guys, like just an incredible run, especially with all the injuries they dealt with, along with the adversity of losing Johnny Gaudreau in the offseason. Like they lost Monahan for significant time. As well as a bunch of other guys. I think Branson was out for quite some time as well.
Werenski was out for a bit.
Werenski, like it, and he had an incredible career year for him. If it wasn't for Cale Makar, he'd probably be winning his first Norris, but fucking Cale Makar is Cale Makar. So a lot of positives to take off of this year for Columbus, and Fantilli, another guy who had a big year. So and I guess that he, his grandfather had passed away last week, and then he traveled. Or was it a grandmother or grandfather that traveled back, ended up potting his 30th goal? So just so many positives with
it's been amazing, and I feel really bad for that team because it would have been an incredible storyline, and like even tonight to not have that game matter, right? It would have been really cool for them, win or lose, to have the last game of the year. We also got. I mean, what did we get? We got 3 different playoff races. The final 2 in the West and the final one in the East went down to pretty much game 82. So that's as much as you could really hope for, considering it looked a couple weeks ago like they were all going to be settled. Fantilli is a monster. I sent a text to the group chat. I think he's played roughly 25 to 30 less games than Bedard and has scored maybe 2 goals less in these 2 seasons. So Merles was the guy that was like, I'd take Fantilli over Bedard, and people were kind of laughing at him. But maybe that ends up turning into not as crazy of a take as it once seemed. Also, Bedard came out and said he's very happy in Chicago. He's kind of sick and tired, or I just made that up, but he's like, enough of people saying I'm not happy here. Even if I look upset or sad on the bench, I love being here. I want to be here. So I think that was very good news to all the Blackhawks fans.
So he just put $90 million in his jeans by saying that.
He is going to get, and I'm wondering what Lane Hudson is going to sign for, because last year they burnt the first year. He is eligible to sign an extension this summer. You would think that Kent Hughes would be kind of all over that, and Jeff Gordon. Let's see what happens there. But the other player in Columbus that it's like, whoa, I think they got something cooking here is that Kent Johnson, who kind of took off. And you remember last year, they sent him to the minors. Like, everything I heard was just like answered the bell, like wasn't mopey, went down, dominated down there, comes back, has a monster season. So there's some special things really going on there. I'm wondering if Provorov re-signs, right? Because that's a guy that we heard might get dealt. I don't think he's re-signed yet. I hope not, or I sound like a complete idiot. But no one expected that out of Columbus. No one saw this coming. And what a story. And I think even though he's not in the playoffs, Evansson has to be up for Coach of the Year. Is that crazy because they didn't get in?
I would probably say just the fact that Montreal got in. You got St. Louis.
So you pick him or St. Louis?
People said Arniel might not, just given the fact that Hellebuck's put up the numbers that he's put up. Like, when you got a goal, I could have been coaching them if you got a goalie like that. Like, that's fucked up, the number. And just quickly on Hellebuck, like, he might be the first American goalie ever to win league MVP. Like, he might win league.
He's not winning MVP.
Well, I think right now he's the odds-on favorite on DraftKings. Yeah, man, buddy, he hit like a two.
Who was the last goalie to win it?
The last goalie to win, I believe, was
Price.
Price.
Was a Price. Yeah, Price was the last guy, and I don't know, man. It would be wild though. Like, he's pretty much locked up the Vezina. That'll be his third Vezina and potentially a Hart trophy as well. So you're talking about a resume which would put you in the top 20 goalies all time. Like this,
that's even more.
With no playoff trophies, that's what's hard and would probably bring him down. But where were we at there right before that?
He's not just the favorite for MVP. Brunelli's saying he's
minus
180.
That's what I'm telling you. That's why I said it.
I was amazed that and you know what? Hand up, I apologize for my reaction.
Thank you.
I didn't realize
the dye got to your head.
The hair dye snuck through to my brain. I mean, it kind of must have flipped in the last couple of weeks because before it was Leon was a big favorite, but I didn't realize that, dude, he was, what was it, one game away from tying the most wins in one season? 48 wins is the most ever had in one NHL season. I believe he finished with 47. So just think, like, a game goes different here or there. He could have broke that record, which I think maybe would definitely lock up the MVP. I love how I just said maybe definitely. It's two opposite words that I use side by side. It's the hair dye.
Columbus, I think just for that organization, what they've done this year in the outside, kind of looking into what they are as a team, I think is so good for them. I think more guys are going to want to sign there. It seems like a great place to live and play. And I mean, this year, obviously, with everything that happened, what they gained from it, I think, can really help out in the future. And they got a lot of good things going there and led by a lot of good people. But with Hellebuck, too, I was going to say, I just feel like people kind of forgot that maybe a goalie could be up for MVP because he hadn't really been talked about till like a few weeks ago. And now him being minus money, people are probably like, oh, yeah, why are we not talking about this dude who's almost breaking records,
Well, the discussion was a couple weeks back that they don't play every game. And it's kind of like, dude, you're not in every single game. But then the games you're in, you're completely dominating the entire league. Going to get a third Vezina trophy. So it is a wild storyline. And that's why I kind of root for him, because the heartbreaking loss in the Four Nations and last year against Colorado, like, he came back this year, answered every question, and then now the big question comes into the playoffs. So I think we're going to get into that series in a little bit.
We are, and what's cool about it, too, is you got the Four Nations goalie matchup. There's a lot of cool, like, you got the Rantanen's Revenge series, you got the Battle of Ontario, Battle of Florida. You actually got the Shen brothers going at it, too, in that series of Binnington and Hellebuck. But going back quickly to Coach of the Year, let's say, for whatever reason, Arniel is not. Okay, he's not in the mix. You would have Carberry, you'd have St. Louis. Would you put
Cronin?
Who? You're a fucking idiot.
Who's your third?
I'm drawing a blank. Minnesota's head coach.
Oh, John Hines. Hey, sneaky, like, Montgomery wouldn't even be bad. He got gassed, then he gets over to St. Louis.
That's
and
another
him
one.
Into the playoffs.
Yeah, I feel like every year there's like 6 or 7 guys who could win Coach of the Year. It's like the most like guys who don't get nominated get the biggest snubs as far as that award's concerned. But it's going to be interesting. Whit, before we get into everything else, there was another thing that happened based on a series that we broke down last week in the fact that LA and Edmonton played against each other. Edmonton obviously didn't have their full lineup, and things got very aggressive over the course of the game. You saw Darnell Nurse cross-checking guys in the head. I think it was Byfield down in the crease.
One game
sussy. And then after the game, Deneau had some very interesting comments. Can we run those comments?
I believe that was mid-game.
I think it was during the game. Yeah.
That was a mid-game interview?
Yeah. It was
Perry's answer was after. Deneau was intermission interview.
Oh my God. That's
I think it was after the
nuts.
first.
That's like WWE shit, right?
Okay, let's run them back to back right here quick.
I know something happened in the first period, right, with Perry and the stick, but how did it get to the point where we are right now? What's going on out there?
I think they just have their B squad and trying to hurt us, so that's pretty much the message tonight. That's what I'm thinking, but yeah.
Phil Deneau at the intermission said that you guys were playing a B squad and trying to hurt them.
Excuse my language, what do you want us to do? Did he not look at what's happened over the last couple of weeks? What do you want us to do? We're not out there to hurt anybody. Anyways, move on.
Perry's response was hilarious because he was like so disgusted in himself that he like swore. He's like, "That's it. It's over. This is over." But I loved that. He's like, "What are we supposed to do?" Yeah, it's our B team. Everyone's injured. I believe he said, "Have you not seen what's going on here the past few weeks? We're dropping like flies in Edmonton."
I think his point was the B squad was on a kamikaze mission to fucking injure some guys. So do you think that there was a little extra added dirtiness trying to maybe take some wind out of LA's sails?
Possibly, and if there was, I like it. I don't hate it. This is prepared. I mean, Keith mentioned earlier this week that before they played Tampa, his last year in Florida, I believe, they played last game before the playoffs, and it was a complete gong show. You know, it's like, hey, we're setting the tone here. This is not going to be just a skate and giggle. It's going to be, we're going to make your life living hell and show you what you're in for, because right now, yeah, we maybe do have a bunch of guys that aren't going to be in the lineup come game one, so we're going to rough you up, we're going to try to toughen you up, and we're going to maybe go headhunting a little bit. Now, Nurse got suspended one game. I get that. It's actually like the most classic suspension of all time. It's like sit out the last game, but you don't have to miss any playoff games.
Yeah, don't do me favors.
Whack. Don't. So I thought it got a little dirty, but you know what? Edmonton is sick of tired of people trying to take advantage of them, and their stars aren't in the game. So it's like, let's go after some of their stars. That's how I look at it, Biz.
And I also think from a mental standpoint too, now like LA's a little riled up, which kind of plays into Edmonton's favor, because if they start taking penalties, that's where Edmonton's just going to cook them. Like the power play percentage in the last 3 rounds they've played them in consecutive years, I think they're clicking at about 35% on the power play.
I think
the one year it was like 50%.
1 year they were 50.
Yeah, 50. They put up a 50 banger on them. So don't exactly like that for LA from a psyche perspective going into that series. But right now, man, Edmonton's biggest issue is going to be solving Darcy Kemper. That guy is buzzing.
I think too the power plays being so different in terms of LA's not being great and Edmonton's being dominant. It'll be the whole series. But LA went to the other night. They had this 5-forward power play unit. It was Kuzmenko, Fiala, Kempe, Kopitar, and I'm drawing a blank on the other one. But they were kind of snapping it around. So it's and McSorley in front causing a ruckus. Byfield. So that Quentin Byfield's a problem. He's going to continue getting better and better. But yeah, I don't hate seeing some early hate begin before the series starts. The fourth year in a row. You know
who's wishing they would have sat out some guys is
Dallas.
The Dallas fucking Stars.
Do you believe that?
Boys, I kind of hate the cap situation towards the end of the year where you can't call guys up, and the league needs its best players playing in playoffs. And it goes back to last year, William Nylander, game 81 or 82, where he ends up getting injured and then he's not available the first 3-4 games for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now all of a sudden you got Jason Robertson, who's been red hot since the Four Nations break, and he gets bumped into while they're down 4-5-1 against Nashville last game of the year, and he's probably going to end up missing game 1 at least. Like, come on here. You can't be fucking losing guys in a nothing burger game. It's ridiculous.
I think the rule was put in because they didn't want teams that are tanking to, it's going to help the veteran players too, where they're not sitting guys out, because that could screw you for a contract your next year. Say you're an older guy fighting for a contract. If they're just bringing up everyone from the minors to get a game or two, then it's kind of hurting the older guys in the league. So I think the rule was put in so teams that are tanking aren't just, playing all these minor league guys, and it's clear that they're trying to lose games and, just putting in whoever owns a pair of skates,
Well, for instance, like because of their cap situation, I believe Toronto has to dress their full lineup in game 82, where it's like, come on here, what the fuck are we doing? Like, God, like if something happens to a Toronto Maple Leaf player, I'm going to fucking lose my mind if it happens. I'm going to lose my mind.
The league?
I'm going to fucking storm I'm going to storm the league offices like the beaches at Normandy, for fuck's sake. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, man.
Robertson left that game in a knee brace. So if you're leaving in a knee brace, like, you think it's just one game you're missing? That's not good at all. He's been so good. And, man, the Dallas Stars, they got worked again by Nashville.
7 losses in a row. They've been outshot their last 13 games. So it's a classic case, guys, and you'll know it. Like when you lose a guy like Heiskanen, you could put a Band-Aid on it for 3-4 games, rolling guys and playing guys an extra 2-3 minutes to alleviate the stress. But after about 4 or 5 games, that's when you start really leaking oil. And ever since they've lost them, man, they look all out of sorts. And I mentioned it last show. I think over the course of the last 2-3 playoffs, he's averaged 27 minutes of ice time. You can't replace that. You can't fucking replace that. So let's hope nobody else ends up getting injured in the last couple games here, which we're recording this on a Thursday. The last slate of games are tonight. So I don't know which one of the Stars will be playing tonight, but let's just pray nobody else gets hurt.
Last thing on Dallas, very cool to see Tyler Seguin come back. He actually had an assist, played around 15 minutes. So that's one thing at least they can kind of be excited about. They get him back. He hadn't played since the calendar turned to 2025. So that's awesome news. But we're going to the rest of the previews now. And we're going to start off in Keith's home state. And I cannot wait. I think my most looking forward to first round matchup, the Battle of Florida. Tampa, Florida, straight up. We saw this madness a few years ago. They hate each other. They already had some big time issues the other night when they played, when Tampa put a beating on them. Keith, let's go to you. The final thing I'll leave you with is Paul Maurice said today, everyone's good to go. So heads up.
Shocker.
They're all coming back.
Shocker. $49 million all of a sudden out of the press box, ready to go. You want to talk about tanking? How about the fucking cap circumcision?
Well, you're lucky they didn't, or they would have won the Atlantic.
No, they wouldn't have.
Not true. Pretty good statement by him.
No. Enough with that. But go on to your breakdown. How do you feel about this series, Keith? Where does your loyalty lie?
I will say that when these teams, they've met 3 times, right? The last 3 year, whatever it is, whoever wins this series is going to the Eastern Conference or going to the Stanley Cup Finals. So no matter what, one of these teams is going to the Stanley Cup Finals. And
what about them beating each other up so bad, though? That's business dream scenario here. If this series is quick for one team, Biz is screwed. That's kind of how I look at it. He needs a 7-game war.
Yeah, he does. I think it's crucial for Tampa. Tampa's got to win these first 2 games because Ekblad's still out with his suspension. If Florida can somehow win a game, I know you always got to steal one on the road, but to win a game without Ekblad and then have him come back, he's been off for 20 games. He's 100% healthy, ready to go. He's going to be fresher than anybody, so that'll be huge for them. But it's obviously a tough matchup. You look at Tampa Bay, they got the Kucherovs, the point. Jake Gensel, 41 goals this year. Did anyone even mention his name? Like the guy, they have the most, what do they got? 6 guys with 20 plus goals, which is insane. Hedman with another 60 points. See, the guys, they just have monsters up and down the lineup. But when you're playing in the playoffs, Busy, you need some rats. And the Florida Panthers have rats on their team. The Rat Squad. And they bring in the biggest one of all, maybe, in the history of the league, Brad Marchand.
Yeah, nose face killer.
He's been getting his feet a little wet, getting him a little taste of what it's like being a Florida Panther. And then guess what? Your first game in the playoffs with the Cats, guess who's back? Matthew Tkachuk. Who might be taking over for you, Brad, as the biggest rat in the history of the game. But imagine them out there together. You got Kucherov buzzing around, wanting to sauce these things around. Boom. Hit. You got Braden Point flying up the wall. Boom. Hit.
Elbow.
Yeah, soup can. Bennett came back last game, played his first game in a little while. He's going to be roaring, ready to go. But at the end of the day, I think this series goes 7 games. And you look at the Tampa bid. They got they're a sexier team, right, Biz? You'd rather take them out on a date than, they're at 10. The Cats might be
I'd
looking
rather
like
take
a
out
6 or
Florida.
7.
They're like the tramp stamp tattoo. They're the ones that are
that's what I'm
spitting all
saying.
over your cock, deep throating you. Oh yeah, no. I like that.
So-
doing DP anal, all of it. I love Florida. In that regard. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go
Okay.
on.
Good.
Love Lauderdale.
But
I want to
think
see their
this game-
mascara dripping.
Yep. This series is going to go to a game 7, and not what Biz just said right there. You need the tramp stamps.
Yeah.
You need the cigarettes outside the bar. You need the guys getting dirty at the elbow room, and you want to look at the Cats for
You
that.
need your
You need the
gargling
foot
your
up
load.
on the side of the car. You know the girls that drive with it. That's a unreal move.
You need her with the load going.
Biz.
Sorry about that.
Family show, Biz. But yeah, I think Cats in 7.
Boys, I said obviously Florida is going to win this series a couple nights ago on TNT, but I'm torn. Like, I'm fucking torn right now. This is going to be an all-out war. We talked about the goaltending battle of Binnington and Hellebuck. How about the 2 Russians going at it? This is going to be fucked. I actually think this is going to be surprisingly a low-scoring series for that reason right there. Tampa reacquiring McDonough. Like, I just feel like Tampa has not been given enough respect all season long. I view them as the Vegas Golden Knights of the East, where they've just been flying under that radar. And as much as I've been sold on Florida, I think I'm going to flip it. I think that the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to win this series in 7 games. There's been a lot of hype around the acquisitions and the fact that Florida's been resting all these guys. You got Tkachuk coming back. You got that crazy line with him, Bennett the Menace, and Brad Marchand. I just am not going to buy into the gargling cum hype of the Florida Panthers, and I'm going to direct my attention towards John Cooper and the Tampa Bay Lightning. I have flip-flopped Tampa in 7 fucking games. And the X Factor, I like to bring the X Factor. Brandon Hagel, NHL record, 35 goals scored this season, not one of them on the fucking power play. Not one of them. He is a gamer. Wow. He's a tramp stamper, and he's the guy you want in your foxhole. So this is going to be a lethal matchup. I want it going the distance. I want them beating the fucking wheels off each other. I want it a cage match every single game. The humidity, just losing all of that fucking, all those electrolytes. I want them depleted by the end of this series so Toronto can have their way with them. But I flip-flopped. I got Tampa in 7.
This is the toughest series for me as well. I actually have decided that I'm going Tampa. And it's solely based on Florida and the amount of hockey they've played. Now, maybe these injuries to these key players actually helps them, and these guys got some rest while getting healthy. Now, I should list out the players coming back into the lineup. It is out of control. Like Tkachuk, Barkov, Reinhart, Lundell. They're all coming back in, and then after game 2, Ekblad comes back in. So you're talking 5 legitimate key components to them winning the Stanley Cup. But I don't know. What you said about Tampa is so true. Like, nobody really talks about them, and I do agree. It's similar to Vegas out west, where everyone's talking the Central, and Vegas is just like, all right, yeah, don't forget about us. No problems here. And Tampa, Vasilevsky this year, like, he's bad. Like, 921 save percent. It's been unbelievable. He probably is like, enough of the fucking Panthers. I had my run before, but I'm not done. We're going back on another one, and I'm taking out Bobrovsky in the first round. I think it's going to be a war. Can you look up if there's any update when Bjorkstrand's back? Because they traded for him and Gord, both guys who would be very valuable in the playoffs. Gord's playing on the first line. Bjorkstrand would be somebody, if he's out the entire series, that's going to be kind of difficult, right? That's somebody who's been in the playoffs, right? He's on Seattle when they knocked off Colorado. So I think it's going to be a war, but I'm going with Tampa. And I also, Biz, it's week to week, Grinelli says. So that's not great good news. Biz, the Hagel thing, I had no idea. Like, I knew he was having a monster year. He's got 90 points.
It's remarkable.
Chicago traded him to Tampa. So what a battle it's going to be. And I'm going with Tampa in 7, based solely on Florida being exhausted.
Did you say Toronto traded him to Tampa or Chicago?
Chicago, he said.
Oh,
hey, you guys agree this would be an unbelievable Stanley Cup Finals. I know obviously the East can't play the East, but if this was the last series of the season, we would all be very excited. The only thing that scares me for you guys, because you're both Tampa jock sniffs, because you guys like being closer to Daytona Beach. Vasilevsky, 63 games played this year. You think that's a little too many, or you think
it's the same thing as Hellebuck? He wants to get in rhythm. It's the same reason Hellebuck played.
That's done well for Hellebuck.
Yeah,
He doesn't
he's
even
about to
let
win a fucking
Coop
MVP.
pull him. I think he bullies Coop. He's like, I'm playing. Yeah. And Coop's like, okay. I mean, yeah. And look at what he's done this year. So I can't wait. Home ice could be enormous, right? It goes to 7. That Tampa crowd's wild. But I cannot wait to see what goes down. And what would be your... I guess that's a stupid question. I was going to say, like, who's most likely to be suspended in the series? But it would just immediately be Marchand Bennett-Tkachuk. So that's not really a fair question.
Who's your guy's X factor?
My X factor is going to be Bob. They were 2-2 this season in their 4-game series. 2-2. That's why, I mean, we all got to go in 7. But I think Bob, the confidence that he has in himself right now, I think he's my X factor, and he pitches a shutout in Game 7.
Can I give an X factor for, like, either team, no matter who I picked?
Do whatever you want.
Doesn't matter.
I think Marchand's the X factor. Like, if Marchand plays like he has in so many playoffs for the Bruins and is, like, you know, right around a point per game and doing the Florida rat stuff that he's done forever, and, like, top of his game, Brad Marchand, it might be really hard for Tampa to get this win. So if Marchand is, like, just out of control, like we've seen him, that's going to be a really difficult matchup, because you already have Tkachuk and Barkov and Reinhart and Lundell and Luostarinen and all these players. I didn't even say Bennett. And then if you add Marchand playing like he can, that's going to be an X Factor type thing for me. Remember when G called Brazeau the X Factor for last year's Bruins Florida series?
Yeah.
He also said that little guy was going to be
Tyler Johnson.
MVP.
League MVP, yeah.
I ended his hockey career. He retired. He basically retired after that.
Oh no!
And who was the other little guy the Bruins signed that G wanted to, be inducted in the Hall of Fame?
I don't remember.
I mean, we've all had our fair share of bad takes, boys. So
yeah, I don't know if we want to start going.
We don't need to bully G about it.
I'll be crying by the end of the episode.
Wow!
And the fact that I don't even know if one of us said Nikita Kucherov's name.
I think that's just obvious, man. He won the Art Ross.
I understand that, but he doesn't get the respect he deserves. He doesn't.
I know. And he plays dirty in playoffs too.
Last year. Oh, he is something else. He's a sicko too out on the ice. He'll spear you right in the eyeball. All right, well, that's the picks. And now the time everyone's been waiting for. The selfie videos have began. Bissonnette, our resident idiot, has already started, and he might be getting too, never get too high, never get too low. This guy might blow his nut prior to game 1, but it's the Battle of Ontario. Ottawa's finally back in the playoffs. Brady Tkachuk, Drake Batherson, they're making their first appearance in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, who can never, ever, ever get over the hump, are sitting there waiting. Busy. Don't just be a Leafs jock sniffer and give crazy, crazy takes. Give me some truth and honesty to what you think of this series, buddy.
You want truth and honesty? Who's got the better goalie in the series? Stolars. I don't give a fuck.
Whoa.
You're out of your
I wouldn't start there.
Go watch
there.
Hey,
Busy.
go look at Allmark's playoff numbers and go look at Stolar's regular season numbers, all right?
Because he's had Swayman snipping behind his back. Now
he was injured, too.
Shut the fuck. This is the best back end the Toronto Maple Leafs might have had in their entire franchise history.
So
They're
start with that,
big.
not goaltending.
They're fucking big. They're fucking mean, and they're going to abuse everybody in that Ottawa lineup, including Brady Tkachuk.
Don't
and
say
if you
it.
want to talk about offense, buddy, that core 4 is going to fuck them up, buddy. This series is over in 5 games. And I don't even need to keep talking. You know why? Because I got a special present for all you motherfuckers, including Sens Army and Sens Nation. Bring them in, G.
No.
If this is Illuminati,
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines, ladies and gentlemen. We got a Stanley Cup to win here in Toronto, boys and girls.
Is that a paper mache Stanley Cup? That looks. Is that it? Is that the cup?
That's the real deal, buddy. They dropped it off for him.
Listen, I time traveled, okay? I time traveled from the future. Shanny let me take the cup for one day, and I said, what else would I rather do with it? Let's time travel back to a few days before the playoffs start just to show Chiclets Nation. I know we got a lot of disbelievers out there, but it is the year. It is the year. And I'm pulsating passion right now. It's coming out of every single fiber in my body.
Okay. I love it. Illuminati. What a nice surprise to see you. I believe Keith left. He's just disgusted with Zigomanis Illuminati back on the show. But what do you think about Biz explaining the series? He starts off with, we have the better goaltending. I don't know if you're leaning that way, right?
Is that fucking crazy? You got some numbers to back me up, Hockey Illuminati?
Yeah, so I mean, are we going to ignore the fact that Anthony Stolarz is 8-0 in his last 8 starts with 3 shutouts? Are we going to ignore the fact that Anthony Stolarz finished at the top of the league in save percentage? By the way, Anthony Stolarz also led the league in save percentage last year, and what happened last year?
He was the backup of a team who won the Stanley Cup.
He did win a cup.
Get your name on it, Whit.
Okay, there's one team that has their goalie. There's another team that has 2 goalies. Usually in the playoffs, you like the team that has 1 goalie because Stolarz has been phenomenal. But you understand if after game 1, Stolarz lets in a softie and they somehow lose, the questions arise. And all of a sudden,
this is what they want to do, Hockey Illuminati. They want to play mind games.
What do
with
we
us.
do? Wool, Stolarz, neither's proven. Ah!
Yeah, no, I get it. We understand what we're doing here, okay? And if we had to go to Wonderwall, thank God we got a great 1B that is also a bit of a gamer. But Stoley is the guy. And I just want to let you guys know that I have a creme de la creme pièce de résistance curse buster associated with Anthony Stolarz. This is the finest curse buster in all the land. Okay? I don't know if you want this now or maybe, right before I sign off, but
You're about to sign off, so now.
No. Give it to him.
We'll bring on the Martian. We should bring on the Sens Martian right now. That's what we should do, G. You let Biz bully you into only having Leafs representation.
Jans, do you need an Your hoodie?
I would love a bunch.
Biz, I'm sending you one. I'm sending you one, Biz.
I'm going to get that tattooed on my ass next week before they really start doing damage.
I'm going to wipe my butt cheeks with that thing after this, maybe the second round, because I think they're going to win the first round. But
I'll
go
send
ahead.
you one. It'll put a smile on your face. Whit, I know you want one too, buddy.
I love the stat the other day of in clinching the Atlantic Division that there was a total of 67 shots on net to bring it back to the year that we last won the Stanley Cup. But give me that last little nugget you were talking about so we can start shutting these guys up.
The Stolarz nugget?
Yeah.
All right. And by the way, Allmark's playoff stats, he's 3-9 with a 3.59 goals against average. Well, I mean,
I told you motherfuckers, you need to listen.
like, yes, he's a great goaltender, former Vezina winner. Okay, but let's not also pretend that this Senators team doesn't have some holes. A lot of guys with zero playoff experience, they are playoff virgins. And there is something to be worried about when it comes to playoff virgins that are full of piss and vinegar and hungry to get in their first action. But how many times do you often see a team like Ottawa that has been out of the playoffs for years and years and years finally get in and really make a relevant difference? It doesn't happen all that often.
No, it doesn't. I'll give you that one.
The pièce de résistance, Anthony Stolarz. I don't know if this is a curse buster or just an unbelievable omen from the hockey gods. Okay. Either way, Sunday, the Leafs' first game is Sunday. Now, a lot of Leaf fans are upset about this because, Easter Sunday, oh, what the fuck, why are they not playing on Saturday night? A lot of Leaf Nation. Everyone's
last time they won it, Jesus was alive.
Well, this and okay, so right. So on Sunday, there are 2 billion Christians celebrating the resurrection of Jesus. Okay. So that got me thinking, well, Jesus was a carpenter, right? Yeah. Jesus was a carpenter. Anthony Stolarz is Polish. Okay. Yeah. Do you know what Stolarz translates to in Polish?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. What?
Stolarz in Polish translates to carpenter in English. Okay. So you hold on a second. So you mean to tell me that on Easter Sunday, the day that Jesus rose, our starting goaltender, who also led the league in save percentage, his last name is Carpenter, and he will save our crease from salvation and resurrect
in
Leaf
game
Nation
one. In game one.
It's symbolic.
Just kick it all off.
It's symbolic.
It's symbolic. I agree.
He might be a carpenter in like 2 years, right? Who knows where his game goes after this playoff choke?
Oh, that is incredible.
Okay, Illuminati. Give me some truthfully, because you Leafs fans are deranged, and I love you guys, but give me a real worry, because to me, and I know I can't say that word correctly, there's a chance Ottawa can win this series.
There it is. Stolarz Carpenter.
It works. Definitely Carpenter.
Right?
Because in my mind, playoff hockey, the rats we're talking about in Florida, some of the Tampa rats, Brady Tkachuk, physical rat, Nick Cousins, Dylan Cousins.
Is Brady Tkachuk even healthy right now?
Brady Tkachuk's coming back, so I mean, yeah, that's a good question.
Coming back? When was the last time he played?
Yeah, well, he's playing game one.
Hockey Illuminati, ignore these fucking idiots. Can we please get some other omens, some other things that can get our Leafs juices flowing? Get my Leafs juices flowing again.
Yeah.
Fuck these haters.
Yes, I know. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to raise the collective awareness in Leaf Nation, because belief is a powerful thing.
It is.
Right? The power of prayer and the power of belief is real. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to instill belief into the hearts of Leaf fans. Okay. So very interesting curse buster that got on my radar today that I think is part of fulfilling the prophecy. Okay. So Austin Matthews, as of recording this game or this podcast, it's Thursday. He's playing tonight against Detroit. Okay. That's game number 67 for Matthews.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You guys are.
Well, interesting. No, hold on, wait. Don't shake your head. Okay. Okay. And that got me thinking, when was the last time the Leafs captain played exactly 67 games? Okay. Now it wasn't 67, but it was 1964. George Armstrong played, and they won the cup that year. They won the cup that year.
There you go. I like it.
What else happened? You know what else happened in 1964, Busy Boy? The first female operated spacecraft. Okay. What happened the other day?
No.
I heard that was fake. I heard they didn't even leave Earth.
It may have been. I agree with you. Illuminati conspiracy. You know what? It probably was. But the gals were wearing maple leaf blue. Go look at the photo. And the last time there was an all-female operated spacecraft into space, the Leafs won the cup.
Oh my God. I love it.
And I mean, Biz,
how do we bring Katy Perry in the mix?
You were DMing with Bezos' wife too, so this is all coming together.
Wow.
Oh, what do you make? Hey, on a serious note though, what do you make? What do you make of the core four? I feel like this is the best they've looked. Marner, Marner hit 100 points for the first time. The spirit of Squanto is working. This is Wit, the spirit of Squanto. 100-point season for Marner. He's going to be a completely different player. Jans, get that fucking look off your face. Get that fucking look off your face.
Biz, Matthews has been battling injuries all year. So if Illuminati's going to talk about Brady Tkachuk, like, who's to say Matthews still isn't a little dinged up?
Have you seen the way he's been playing lately? I don't think so. I think the Leafs are fairly healthy right now. Okay.
What about McCabe and OEL?
McCabe's going to be ready to go. He'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hard labor Caber. He'll be fine. Okay. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson, grand larceny, the boys will be ready to go. Okay. So they're fairly healthy. They're playing good right now. You know, this is on a serious note. You know, there's no more excuses for the core four. Okay. On a serious note, this is it. There's no more fucking excuses. Okay?
Every year, Keith. Every year.
They finally have the coach. They finally have the secondary scoring. They finally have the goaltending. They finally have
back
the
end.
Defense, and they have all the curse busters and all the good omens, right? So, you know, I do believe that this team is going to go as far as Anthony Stolarz takes them. Ultimately, it will be on Stoli. Okay, if we got to put Wallin as our 1B, I do trust him. You know, not as much as Stoli, but he can also get the job done. But I mean, the Leafs' problem has been scoring in the playoffs the last couple of years, right? So there's no more fucking excuses, and there's a lot of question marks around this team right now. What's Mitchie going to do? What's it going to cost to keep, you know, JT around? It's like none of that even fucking matters. We're going to see how badly these guys want to stay, and there's no excuses for losing to Ottawa. Like we fully 100% expect them to win, and you know then they're going to get one of the battered Florida teams, which is great, you know. And then in the third round, you're looking at
no stop. Okay. So
no.
both of you,
pressure is a blessing, and there's a lot of pressure on the Toronto Maple Leafs to win this series. And Chief is going to explain that to them. And they've been great down the stretch, one of the best teams down the stretch. They're going to get this done. They're going to get it done in 5 games. They're not going to waste any fucking energy. And I understand that Ottawa has a good lineup, but as Hockey Illuminati explained, they're virgins. They are straight up virgins. And the Leafs are going to take their V card and send them back.
So is Jesus.
Yeah. You know what? That's actually a good point, Jens. Yeah. Well, we don't know. Maybe he wasn't.
Great point.
And guess what the carpenter made? A dildo so she could jam her box. So let's fucking go here.
I got one for Illuminati.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers, V, buddy.
If you're you talk to any hockey player, hockey fan, what is the number one thing you do not do before the Stanley Cup? Before winning a Stanley Cup?
Talk shit?
Yeah.
Right.
What? No.
Touch the cup.
What? Yep. How did that get into your living room, Illuminati?
Well, I told you I traveled from the future. I time traveled from the future.
You putting your hands on that. You putting your dirty mitts on that.
I agree, Keith.
Them.
Kiss it.
This.
Hold it above your head and kiss it.
No. See, now that I wouldn't
because
do.
It's an AI. It's AI.
Listen,
he created it on the internet.
If you're a true fan, you wouldn't even have it in your house.
Well,
if you haven't been alive for one of those things, you wouldn't even have it in your house.
I believe the rule is that you cannot lift it over your head. I have not lifted it over my head. Okay.
No, you're not allowed to.
I've bathed it, fed it, serenaded it. I've done some interesting things to it, but I have not lifted it over my head. So I have not broken any of the hockey culture rules. I don't believe.
Touching it is the number one thing.
You know what? You know why I took it to Harold Ballard's grave?
Don't know who that is.
That's aggressive.
No, I did. Yeah. To break the curse. Yeah.
Illuminati, let's let these guys talk on behalf of Ottawa and what they're going to sell to our fans about their belief in them upsetting the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round. Floor goes to you, Mr. Whitney.
Okay. My worry about Ottawa, and I'm not worried about Allmark. Like, forget the old playoff numbers. Maybe that's me being ridiculous, but I'm not. I am worried a little bit about their defense, right? Like, Sanderson is incredible, but overall, Toronto has a bigger, tougher defense. Okay? I get that. Up front, Matthews is the best player in this series. Matthews and Nylander. They got Marner too. But I'm talking Stutzle and Tkachuk together on one line with Giroux. Dylan Cousins has been great over there with Perron, who you want to talk about a guy who can really calm down the nerves of a bunch of kids who've never been in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's David Perron. Batherson on that wing. Then you got this third line of the Pinto Parlay, Amadio Stanley Cup champ, and Ridley Gregg, who I do know has gotten under the skin of the Toronto Maple Leafs before with one of the greatest empty netter goals I've ever seen. Okay, so I think that up front, yes, you guys have more skill, but I think with Tkachuk and then psychopath Cousins on the fourth line and the cigarette machine Zetterlund, I think overall Ottawa has a tougher forward group. And I think if they do come out and they run around and they steal game 1 or 2, then we're looking at a possible long series. 100% Toronto is favored in this series. 100% they should win this series. But I do not think it's going to be as simple as you two dum-dums think. Because Illuminati, you just said they 100% will win. Like, there's no doubt in your mind?
Should win. Should win. 100% should win.
So there is
5 games.
There is
5 games.
All right, how many games, Illuminati, do you have them?
So, and you made some good points, okay? I think Matty Nyes can neutralize Tkachuk, okay? I would argue that Tavares is maybe playing better than Tkachuk right now and more effective than Stutzle. So maybe they have the top 4 players in this series. I don't know. It's an interesting argument. I'm going with Biz with 5. Surprise, surprise. Leafs in 5. But I also look at this symbolically a little bit. So the Leafs have played the Sens 4 times in the playoffs, okay? In the early 2000s. And by the way, the real Leaf fans remember that in the early 2000s, the Senators beat up the Leafs in the regular season. They did.
I know.
They did,
but
remember?
I don't really buy into that though.
But any of the regular season stuff, they didn't beat them this year, this side, none of that matters because that was the case as well last year, but or in the early 2000s. The Leafs beat the Senators in 7. They beat them in 6 twice, and they swept them once. So the only outcome they have not had is winning in 5. So we're rolling with 5 for the.
Okay, my final thing.
It won't be easy.
I have Toronto in 6. My final thing though, if because I was told that Leafs fans were buying up tickets in Ottawa, then I've been DM'd by Ottawa fans that that's not true. If it isn't true, the advantage in Ottawa home ice is way more than Toronto. You guys have both admitted that crowd is not great. The Toronto crowd is quiet.
Leafs will be playing 5 home games in this series.
Yeah.
So you think that is true that they're buying up all? You think it's going to be mostly
Leafs are going to be playing 5 home games
Yeah.
in this series.
I
you
think
talked
it'll be
about that big aggressive front end, the forward group.
Yeah.
Buddy, Toronto built their back end for this shit.
I like their back end a lot.
They're big. They don't fuck around. They'll fight if they have to. I'd be shocked if they even get to the blue paint one time. Stolars is going to see everything. The Ottawa's not even going to get a fucking sniff. It's over. I'm fucking signed, sealed, and delivering this fucking series. It's over.
Anything if somehow Ottawa pulls this off. Just to clip
it ain't
that,
happening.
just to clip that right
It
there
ain't
would just
fucking happening.
I'll be watching that on Christmas morning as the kids are opening presents. This is my gift again to myself.
Let's hear what dumb Keith has to say about this series.
Keep calling me names.
I just fucking did, bitch. I know where you're going.
Biz gets all aggressive in the playoffs, dude.
I know where you're going.
This is fucking insane.
Get fucking Brady's balls out of your mouth.
There's really nothing else that you guys haven't said. All great points. I love Ottawa in maybe the first 10 minutes of the game 1, but at the end of the day, I think Toronto's going to make light work of this series, and that's why I'm saying stop fucking calling me names because I'm on your team right now.
Okay.
Well, great.
I appreciate that. I take it back.
Great.
But it's also one of these things you two are going on like it's you're beating the 88 Edmonton Oilers. Like it's you got the Ottawa Senators here. We got to pump it down. Stay focused on what we need to do first round, winning in 4, not getting too banged up, and then worrying about when the playoffs really start against the Florida team.
I got Sens podcast sending out pictures of the fucking Irish Traveler saying that's who they're starting first shift.
That was so funny, though.
That was so funny.
Yeah, so
I think
we're
you're
not
about
the
to
antagonizers here. Sens Army came after me online, and I'm just fucking, I'm rebuttaling here.
Wait, there's a Sens Army? That even exists?
There is a Sens Army. I think that overall Sens fans could easily claim that they're more loyal to their team than Leafs fans. Leafs fans turn on guys quicker. They're quiet in the arena. Now, fair enough, the great fans can't afford the tickets where you need to be down low and loud. But my final thing on this series, and I do not want anything at all injury-wise to affect any guys, but Austin Matthews was in Germany getting stem cell shots this year. For you guys to both tell me you're not worried at all about his He's been great lately, but like he's obviously been banged up. He's one of the best players in the world. You need him to stay healthy. He was getting
fucking peptides shoved up his hoop. He'll be fucking buzzing out there.
Yeah.
Dude. It's like basically like getting full-blown testosterone in you. He'll be buzzing.
Whatever Dr. Van Nostrand did to him in Germany, it worked. Like, and we have 3 other guys, Nylander, Marner, and Tavares that are playing at the top of their game right now. You got Matty Nyes, finished with 29 goals, but hopefully hits 30 tonight. Bobby McBong hits. Bobby McMahon is a beautiful secondary piece. Like there's other guys that can pick up Matthews, and you guys know this. You all played. Like guys are going to get hurt right away in the first round. So even if Matthews is coming in at like 90%, okay, big deal. Because after the first round, there's going to be a lot of other guys that aren't playing at 100%, right? So
I like that point.
Right?
Hockey Illuminati, we thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for traveling back from the future. Congratulations on the Stanley Cup victory. And we'll also see you after the first round victory against Ottawa. We'll call you back on every series, and it's going to be a hell of a run. Tell everyone in Toronto I love them and give them my best. It's our year.
It is.
It's our fucking year.
We need you here in Toronto, buddy. The Leaf Nation needs your presence. That's what I will say. I will send everyone an Our Year hoodie, okay? Yes, even you, Whit, I want to see you wearing one now. Come on now, buddy.
Squanto needs one.
Hey, if you guys get by the Florida team in the second round, I'll wear that thing all Eastern Conference Finals.
Wow.
And as a consolation prize to Sens Army, we did talk to Jimmy Stu, and we were very cordial. We didn't bring up any bullshit about the fact that we're going to wax him in the first round. We just asked him about his playing career. So without further ado, Whit, should we send it over to Jimmy Stutzle?
Yes, right now, Tim Stutzle.
Thanks, fellas.
Enjoy. Bye, Illuminati.
Thanks, fellas. Love you guys. Go Leafs, go Our Year.
Let's go, baby.
What is up, folks? This is Whit, and I need to talk to you about Sport Clips. Sport Clips isn't just where you get your hair cut. It's your playbook for looking fresh. Walk in, catch the game, and sit back while the pros in men's hair handle the rest. And when you're done, walk out feeling like you're ready to take on anything. You see this fresh cut I got? Yes, it may be balding a little bit, but Sport Clips hooked it up. No hassle, no surprises, just a solid cut every time. It's simple, it's easy, and it's made for guys who want to feel like they've got the home field advantage. And if you want to track your real-time wait times, download the app and check in online. Sport Clips, the haircut experience dialed in for guys. It's a game changer. Guys, it's Whit, and I need to talk to you about Body Armor Sports Drink. This episode is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. Body Armor is real hydration with electrolytes, coconut water, and no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners. None of that crap. It's electrolytes, coconut water, and none of the junk. With your favorite flavors like strawberry banana and orange mango, but in a brand new look that you're going to love. Gee, look at that new bottle. Look at that. How nice is that?
Wait, it's incredible. They also got the QR code on the side so you can look up all the incredible stuff. And look at the sleek design here.
That's my go-to strawberry banana too.
Oh, it's so good. I do like the orange mango in the morning, but strawberry banana right with dinner, it doesn't get any better.
And none of the flavors or sweeteners, the trash, the stuff that isn't good for you, there's zero of that.
Antioxidant vitamins A, C, and E to it.
Can you get any better than that? No, you can't, because Body Armor Sports Drink is the best. It's time to rewrite your routine and get rid of your sports drink your grandparents drank. Get your Body Armor today at Walmart or a local grocery store near you. Body Armor. Choose better. We are now pleased to be joined by a very, very special guest, the leading scorer of the Ottawa Senators, the 3rd overall pick in the 2020 NHL draft, and a man who is now going to the playoffs. Ottawa's in, and a main reason it is Tim Stutzle. Thank you so much for joining the show.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Oh, buddy, it's an honor for us. We love it. I think we've talked to every one of your teammates over the years and just asked questions about you. Now we get to meet you yourself. I think I'll start it off with your 4th season. How exciting is it to be in? Like, I'm playing playoff hockey now. We're all going to get a chance at the big dance. So what's the vibe around the locker room right now?
Yeah,
it's been awesome. It's definitely the most fun I had. Like you guys know, I think winning, there's nothing better than winning. And yeah, we're fortunate enough to win a little bit more than the years before. And yeah, we're really excited to be in the playoffs, and obviously can't wait.
And I messed up it's his 5th year. I apologize.
Well, it's his 4th full season, right? I believe your first season was it the COVID year?
Yeah.
Wow. So you had to hop into the fire. No fans in the building. That must have been weird for your first year, no?
Yeah, we couldn't. I was living with Brady and Josh, and we couldn't leave the house. Like, all we did was just like chill at the house. We couldn't see any people. It was just basically us three the whole time, and we were watching poker the whole day, playing video games. So it was a good time, but we couldn't do anything. So it was kind of bad.
So you have to defend yourself here, because we caught word that you're one of the messiest people on earth, and maybe it was just the COVID and the fact that everybody was locked in their houses. But what do you have to say for yourself in the fact that you're the messiest hockey player on the planet?
I don't know about messiest. I think I can be pretty messy, yeah. But those two other guys were much better than me. So no, I mean, I think I got better. I was pretty young coming in, so I think I got way better now.
What do we call you? Because it seems like you're one of those guys that has like 6 or 7 nicknames in the locker room. So what did it start as? I believe Jimmy Stu was one of the first ones. And what does it progress to now? Like, what do the guys call you in the room?
Yeah, they just kind of choose and pick. It's Timmy, Stewie, Juice, whatever they want to call me, I guess. Claude Giroux calls me Juice, so he's the oldest guy, so he probably sticks around for him.
That's awesome. It seems like a great locker room, and I know it was really hard when the trade went down, right? Like Josh and you guys, you were very close. Brady talked about it. It's kind of probably maybe one of your first examples of like a really close friend being traded. I don't know if I'm wrong on that, but take us through how it felt, and then now you got Dylan Cousins there, who's looked great. So it's just part of the business, I would say, you know?
Yeah. Obviously, it was tough. Like right after it happened, it was tough. I drove him to the airport too, so it was pretty hard. We packed all his shit with a bunch of the guys who came over, and but obviously, like we realized it's part of the business, and obviously still in contact and wish him all the best. And it's obviously great having Kazi and Gilbert, and they're two great guys. So they're awesome. Playing cards together on the plane as well with Kazi, and he's a great guy, adapted really quick to the group, and we're really fortunate to have him. He's a great player. But in the end, it obviously sucked to see a teammate go and a close friend. But that's a team decision. We can't really do anything about it. So we're really happy to have Kazi and Gilbs.
Jimmy Stu, is this the first season where you feel like you kind of like get the league and your consistency's there, where you finally feel maybe like a veteran? Obviously leading the team in scoring, but this has been a massive season for your whole team, and I feel like everybody's kind of finally taken that next step, right? It's been all these years of, this is going to be the year, but it finally feels like your game is reached where it needs to be, along with everybody else.
Yeah, I think we really committed to playing way better defensively. Nobody really cares who gets a point, who doesn't. All we care is about winning, and I think that was the biggest step for our group. When you're young, you're going to get your points, you want to get goals, and I think that's normal. Everybody still looks at that, but our main focus was winning games, and I think it really helped us a lot. Everybody's committing to playing defense, everybody's coming back hard, and I think that's a big part.
Was that Travis Green's main message when he came in camp? Like, we have so much firepower in here. I'm not worried about the goals. It's just keeping it out of our net.
Yeah, I think he's really good at giving guys confidence too. Not just offensively, but also defensively. I think he's really good at that, knowing what to do in the D zone. He's really structured, and I think that helped us a lot. And he doesn't want to take away a whole lot of offense. Just managing the game, I think that's the biggest part. When you're up a goal, maybe don't try to go to 3 guys and try and get another one.
Jimmy Stu, are you listening?
Yeah, try and get another one. So I think that's the biggest part, and I think we've really bought into that.
How does that happen? Like in training camp, as soon as he gets there, is he showing you guys video and examples of maybe in the past where you guys like like, have taken those risks offensively when you do have the lead, or maybe when you're in poor position? Like, what was it mainly that the way that DJ Smith maybe wasn't able to get through to the group? Like, and it's no knock on him. Like, it's just what tone was set in training camp in order to get that established throughout the lineup?
No, I think it's mostly on us, like on the guys in the room. We were sick of losing, and we just wanted to know what it took to win. And I felt like if the whole team bought in, then we have a chance to win every night. And I think that was just mainly the group. Obviously, DJ is a great coach. I think Greener is a great coach as well. But I think it really clicked for us as a group that we're sick of losing, and we kind of knew what we had to do before. It's just we never really did it for some reason, and not everybody bought in. Some days it wasn't me, some days it was me, some days it was the other guys. So we needed everybody to buy in, and I think that's what we have this year. And Greener met with a bunch of the guys in the summer, just about expectations and stuff. And I think that was good for the whole group as well, what to expect. And we had a pretty hard training camp, so we're prepared for that.
I want to go back to you growing up and you getting in the game, being from Germany, and there was always German players in the NHL, but now with yourself and Leon and Seider, like there's some true like high level elite talent coming from Germany. What was it like for you? Like, were you idolizing and dreaming of playing in the NHL? Did you have guys in the DEL that you kind of idolized? Like, take us through how you got into the game and your beginning and come up.
Yeah, so my dad played hockey until he was like 18, and then he quit, and I started when I was like 4. And we would always go watch it was early on, it was the under 19 in my hometown. We would go watch every weekend when there was no games for me, and watch every weekend. I wanted to play there so bad. Like that was
your dream.
Yeah, I want to play there so bad. And one of my best friends growing up, his dad played in the DL. So we are always hanging out together. We were on one team, and then I got to watch like more DL games because of him. We were always there together, and that kind of became my dream. But the first dream was just playing under 19 for my hometown team. And me and my dad went to every single game we could. And I just, from that on, I love hockey so much. So and then when I went to Mannheim, I kind of saw a chance that I can make it to the NHL.
I saw that G mentioned it before you hopped on, that you went to Mannheim, but there was actually conversations of you playing NCAA, where you had committed to New Hampshire.
Yeah.
How the hell is that going to work?
I mean, you're still confused by the decision, it seems.
Yeah, I think it was more my parents who wanted me to do school. I think that was the biggest part, because they're always saying you never know what's going to happen with injuries and stuff. And but I kind of believed in myself that I can play pro in Germany. Wanted to make some money too. And it was great. It was the right decision. And I think I learned a lot from the guys there I play with.
Going back to your childhood, my understanding is you started on the skates at 3 years old. Is that true?
Yeah, like 3.5, 4, yeah.
That's wild. And I think that for most people who watch you play would say you're one of the best skaters in the league, like the way that you're able to move out there. Were you like going into specific like power skating lessons? Like what was it about your training that you were able to become such a great skater?
I think, to be honest, like I didn't like in the summer, like I never had like a personal coach or anything. I just did a lot of other sports, played lots of soccer. And I remember my first coach, he was really, really good about skating. Like we would skate a lot, like not a lot of pucks. And he was really good about that. But I never had like a power skating coach or anything. I think it's more just loving the game too, and just doing other sports as well. I think it's really important. And that was for me. I think I'm pretty athletic, so that helped my skating, I think, a lot.
And Whit, I was just going to quickly ask, it says you're from, is it Viersen? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
What was your town like where you grew up? Like, was it a big population? Like, was it more of like a smaller community?
Yeah, really small town. Like, really, really small town in Germany. Maybe like 10,000 people. So yeah, so really small. And but that's where I grew up. But in Viersen, that's where I got born in the hospital. But where I grew up is like a really small town, and there was one soccer field. They actually built it brand new there too, so it was awesome when I was playing there. And the rink where I played in was like in a bigger city. It was like 20 minutes away.
And wait, I just got one more.
No, go ahead.
Given your athleticism, I know. Yeah, I'm just hogging it over here, trying to get in your head as a Leafs fan. Given the fact that you're so big and athletic, was there pressure for you to maybe go the soccer route? Given it's probably it seems like soccer is the national sport there, and that's what everyone wants to play, right? Was there pressure dragging you over to that, or were you laser focused on hockey when the season started?
Yeah, and I was so confused, like what to do, because I was actually better in soccer than I was at hockey. So I was really confused. Like I didn't really know what to do, but I decided to go on the hockey way, because mostly my best friend was playing hockey too. So, yeah, that's probably the biggest reason why I went playing hockey.
You could be the first Bo Jackson from like the hockey world, Whit? Like, imagine he was playing soccer and in the NHL.
Well, with the way some people have claimed that Jimmy Stu dives, he would fit in on both. How about that, Jimmy? You had some guys. Brendan Gallagher came out, and I mean, were teammates giving you a hard time? What did you think about the diving accusations?
Yeah, I don't really care. I was always a guy who moved my feet pretty quick, and I think that's the biggest part. I'm not trying to dive or do anything or get a penalty for something. I'm just trying to play my game, and my game is trying to be good on my edges and play fast. And yeah, I think it's mostly fans who don't like seeing us win, and mostly fans from other teams.
I'll say though, he's got Sens Army behind him, so anybody saying it is probably going to get death threats. Like they might even show up. How hardcore is Sens Army? I got people like DMing me on Twitter death threats because I've been coming at the Sens saying that the Leafs are going to beat them in 5 or 6.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome. I think especially this year, the support has been unreal, and we just wanted to give them something back. But also the years before that, when we were terrible, they still supported us. We're going for walks. They still said we're playing great, and but the support is awesome, and I think it helps us a lot as a group as well. And when the rink is packed, you guys know how fired up you get for that.
Oh, that rink is something else. I'll get into that in a minute, but I kind of wanted to go back to growing up in Germany. I'm guessing, as Biz mentioned, most kids that are athletes, they grow up, they dream of playing in like the Bundesliga or whatever. But do you think it's starting to switch a little bit? Like, have you seen hockey growing based on you and Leon and Sider and a lot more kids maybe now dreaming of the NHL as opposed to pro soccer?
Yeah, I mean, soccer is probably always going to be the number one sport there because it's just so big over there. And everybody who grows up watches soccer, and it's like their number one sport. But I think mostly kids are realizing that it's also great playing hockey, and it's awesome playing hockey in Germany. They have a great league there, and
great fans.
Yeah, great fans. It's awesome to play in front of the fans there, and I think the rinks are packed all the time as well. And where I live in the summer, it's like a hockey town, and they're unreal like youth program, and so yeah, hopefully it's kind of changing a little bit, but I think soccer is still forever we're going to be number one.
So when most Americans are playing junior and Canadians their draft year, you were able to play in the DEL for Mannheim, which is a pretty storied franchise over there. I feel like Swedish kids could play in the SHL if they're high-level players their draft year. Did you think that you'd maybe be going back after the draft? Like, did you imagine you'd be going right to the NHL? Like, did you even think during that season, wow, I'm playing well enough, I think I could make the step up to the National Hockey League next year?
Yeah, I think, it was pretty funny. I mean, pretty funny now, but I was hurt right before the World Juniors and kind of rushed to get back to play World Juniors because I wanted to play it so bad. And then I was always like in contact with Ottawa, but then we got whacked 17-2 by Canada at
I remember that game.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
yeah, and then I signed my deal like the next day. So yeah, it was kind of weird. Like we just got absolutely slapped, and then I signed my deal the next day. So yeah, it was kind of weird, but that was kind of when they told me you're coming over right after World Juniors, and you're gonna get some games, and yeah, just see where it goes.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And
didn't Alex Trebek call you because it was like a remote draft at the time?
Yeah, he didn't call me, but he did like the kind of trivia thing where he picked me. He was the guy who made the pick.
Did you know who that was?
No, no, I didn't. But my teammates knew. Like all my teammates were there, a bunch of Canadian guys too, so they knew.
That's awesome. Didn't Demidov get called by Celine Dion? That's fucking badass too. I think that was one of the ones. That was I believe it was at the with the Sphere.
Yeah.
But I was going to go back to Germany. Who were the guys that you were playing with or that were around, or maybe it was Leon Draisaitl, given the fact he's a few years older, that you were like looking up to and trying to emulate your game after? Like, were there any guys that like really like took you under their wing to help you and advance your skills and your career?
Yeah, I think everywhere I played, I always played with like older guys. So everywhere I played, there were always a bunch of guys who kind of took me under their wing and tried to help me out. I mean, I was 14, like practicing with like 20-year-olds. So it was pretty crazy age difference. And then when I went to Mannheim, I had like Marcel Gauge, he played in the NHL too. Ben Smith, Tommy Hutter, there were a bunch of guys. Plachter, he still plays in Mannheim. Who took care of me playing there, and it was awesome.
How did that season go? Were you guys able to make a little run in the playoffs, or was it a quick exit?
Yeah, we finished the season second, the regular season, and then playoffs got canceled because of COVID. So,
that was that year.
It was, so.
Now, is the DEL, for people who don't know, I would say it's a little more closer to North America style because you're allowed so many imports. Like, was fighting allowed in the DEL, or was it still a game misconduct? Like, what do you remember about your one season over there?
I heard the referees were shit in that league. I'm serious. I'm not even fucking around either.
No, I mean, it's the reffing is definitely a little different than over here. A little softer, maybe, I would say. But I think the league is really good. I think it's a really good league. There's a bunch of players who played high, played NHL, got drafted high in the NHL. So a lot of talented players. And I think it's a pretty good league, and I think it's just getting better too. There's a bunch of younger German guys coming up who are awesome. So it's going to be great.
So as we watch the Four Nations, right, we talked about, all the countries that didn't get to participate that would be in the Olympics, Germany being one of them. Like, do you guys have to do any like pre-tournament things? Like sometimes they have like the qualifiers to the main Olympics for the national teams, like, or are you guys already set and ready for next year in Italy?
No, we are already in. Yeah.
Nice.
We're already in. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's got to be exciting.
Yeah. It's unreal. The coaches and the coach and the manager just came and saw me and Mo play to Ottawa, so we went for dinner. So it's awesome.
Who would be considered the Wayne Gretzky of German hockey? Like, who's the top dog?
Probably Draisaitl.
Really? No. He's gotten there that quick, eh?
I mean, what a legend. He scores 50 every year, so
I guess that'll do it, eh? I know you're young, but have you what are the biggest cultural differences between Germany and Canada? Like, are Germans like very intense and stiff, or are they like silly and do they joke around a lot? Like, what did you find the biggest difference between Canadians and Germans?
Yeah, I think Canadians are way nicer than Germans.
Germans get that scowl on their face sometimes.
They can be like Draisaitl every shift. I'd be fucking scared of the guy.
Yeah, they can be like pretty hard. So they're pretty straightforward with what they say. They always say it how they think, and I think Canadian are a little bit nicer. And just try to make you more comfortable, you know?
Did you find that like Canadians were almost fucking with you because they were so nice? Like almost like they were like they were, some people think when I'm being nice to them, especially in the States, they're like, are you fucking with me? And I'm like, no, I'm being dead serious. So did you get that at first where you like weren't sure what their angle was? Or were you just aware that they were that nice off the hop?
No, I think when you think like they're like overly nice with a bunch of people in the US, like when you walk in a store, for example, and they say like, oh, you look so good. Like you think, what's going on? You don't have to say that. You know?
Well, I don't think many people are saying that to us. You're just a stallion. Yeah.
No, but it's, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, I think in Canada, the people are just super nice. And they just treat everybody with respect. So it's pretty awesome.
So because you're German, does that mean you can gas beers? Like, can you throw them back?
I mean, I like beers, yeah. I would say my dad can probably throw them back more than me, yeah.
Do your parents come over and visit a lot? Like, are they able to come to a bunch of games?
Yeah, my dad is here right now. So we had like a dad's trip, so he's here right now. And my mom maybe wants to come over pretty soon too. But yeah, it's good to have him here right now. He loves watching hockey as well, so he enjoys the games.
Is that your house right there where you're at? You in your office? Holy fuck, Jimmy Stu. Jesus, you look like you're a fucking Bond villain in that mansion. Those are some high... How tall are those ceilings?
I don't even know.
That's got to be about 18,
Did you
20
build
feet.
it? Did you build the house, or was it already built?
No, it's Chiclets' house.
Oh, no light bulbs.
Bands make them dance.
Yeah, it's Chicky's house.
Does that just play on the loudspeaker every morning? Bands make them dance. How cool has it been seeing that guy do what he's done this year? I mean, you got to play with him last year. Unfortunate it didn't work out, but holy shit, dude. Not only 20 rips, but that big ticket, 8x9.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome. He's a great guy, obviously a great player. And we got along really well, so I'm really happy for him. And yeah, he's different with a bunch of shit, but he's great. Like his dedication to being prepared is really impressive. He kind of does whatever it takes, so it's pretty awesome. He deserves.
Does he have like a meat locker there, like a slaughterhouse where he gets his own raw beef? No, there's no slaughterhouse.
No,
there's just 4 gyms in the house. It's like, dude, I think you only needed one, Chicky.
Oh, there's actually no gym. He didn't put a gym in, but he had like a treatment room there.
So we interviewed Dylan Strome last week. We were talking about the Ovi goal chase, and I mentioned how he's one of the best contracts in the league. And you signed your ticket 8.3 times 8 years, and now it's like, oh my God, with the cap going up, Ottawa got a nice deal for you. Like when you were signing that, were you thinking about a 5-year deal? Was the whole time you and your agent wanted a long-term 8-year? How did the contract negotiation go?
Yeah, it was actually really easy.
Nice.
All I wanted was 8 times 8. That's what I wanted, and my agent said, no, you're not signing that. And then he kind of called me after like 10 days. He's like, that's where we're at. I told him, yeah, that's what I want to sign. Like, that's all I want. And he kind of pushed it up a little higher, and so it was really easy. It took like 12 days maybe, and I was on the golf course. He called me and he said all done. So it was really easy.
That's good. And were you going on 8 times 8 based on like seeing what other guys had signed for and seeing your numbers? You're like, I think that's what I'm worth and that's what I want, like based on some other guys, some comps.
Yeah. And I signed a year early too, so I kind of saw myself being better next year. And I saw what some other guys signed for, so that was my number, and I wanted to get it done as soon as possible. It was great.
Now, do you think like you got 3 straight years with over 50 assists? One of those years you had 39 goals. Like, would you consider yourself more of a playmaker? Obviously, you could score too, but is playmaking more your game, you think?
Yeah, I don't know if I can still score. I haven't scored in a while, but
hey, you're saving them for playoffs, bud.
Yeah, but
no, he's not. No, he's not. No,
Unless
simmer
you're
down
playing
there.
the Leafs, Biz will be rooting for you.
Yeah, I always was more of a playmaker, I'd say, but I kind of the last games I think I gotta pick and choose a little bit better when to shoot and when to pass, and yeah, I'm trying to figure it out right now.
So going back to the Sens, take us inside the room a little bit for any Sens Army fans listening. Like, who's the biggest clown in the room? Is it Brady? Is it who's the guy that's really keeping the team loose, or is there more than one guy like that?
I think we have a bunch of guys who are clowns.
I love that.
But the biggest one, which you never can take serious, is probably Thomas Chabot.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you can never take him serious. You don't know what mood you're getting. So no, he's a great guy. Always gets a laugh from the boys, and yeah, he's pretty funny. So
what do you mean? Like some days he might show up a little bit cranky and but he's wearing his heart on his sleeve. So like everybody's like, oh, leave him alone. He's cranky today.
Yeah, no, that's G. That's G.
Oh, the old grumpy guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Like
he's gotten 2 fucking cars stolen. I'd be pissed off all year too.
No, it's G. When he comes to the rink, he's you can tell he didn't get enough sleep, or he's just a little grumpy. Something didn't go well at home, and so we just let him hear about it too. We let him know about it right away, and then he always says every morning he's the happiest guy in here. But I don't know if that's always true. But yeah, he's probably the guy who gets chirped the most for being a for being a Hall of Famer. It's probably like insane. And he always says,
God.
Yeah, he says it's because he can take it, but yeah.
I can't wait till the end of the year where Brady and the boys let him know they took his cars. And they got both of them just in the park exit meetings, and then there's both of his fucking whips that got stolen. They were just fucking with him the whole time.
It's Jimmy Stu's dad's car. It's his dad's car.
A new one. Yeah.
Hey, so
what
interviewed.
What cars was he driving? Like, what was he driving that he got jacked?
He was driving like Range Rovers. That second car wasn't even his, I don't think. It was like a loaner.
This guy.
Oh no.
We interviewed Shane Pinto, and nobody loves laughing at their more jokes than Pinto.
Oh,
he tells a joke and he's dying. He'll also laugh at your jokes, which makes you feel good, but he seems like a blast to be around in the room with.
Yeah, he's awesome. He gets chirped a lot too. But yeah, he's awesome. He's a great guy. I think he's gonna get so much better still as well. And
really,
he's already a great player. I think he's got a lot of talent still in him, and works really hard. So I think he's just gonna get better too.
What's it been like seeing the evolution of Brady and his leadership? I believe you said you lived with him in the first year. Like, obviously, I feel like it's like internal, the way that he was raised through Walt and being around Matthew. But like, what's it been like over the last 4 years to see, like, from a leadership standpoint, where he was and where he is today? Everything you saw at Four Nations and just the man that he's become.
It's made a huge difference. I think the first year coming in, he was always really, like you said, he has everything inside of him, and he always has a lot of emotions coming out of him. And sometimes during games when we get down or something, he would show his emotions. He would fight too much because we want him on the ice. And I think he's really improved. Like, he's been a great captain. And just the way he handles himself right now, with like, he stays calm at all moments. Doesn't matter if we're down, if we're up. And I think that's just of him maturing as well, and which helps our team a lot, is that he's so even keeled that we are all even keel, and we believe we can come back at all times. And also in the room, I think he really improved when to say things, what to say. He's been really, really good, and the guys obviously respect him a lot.
Fuck, Whit, I hate hearing all this stuff, man. I think
they're gonna wax you. They're gonna wax.
Fuck
you.
you.
They're gonna wax you guys.
I think it might go to 6 games now. I think I said 5 yesterday. I think it's gonna go to 6 now.
It's got to be, and this isn't a knock on anyone, but the feeling you have with Allmark and net must be just so amazing. Like, if we have a breakdown, we trust this guy and how good he's been. Does that change like the mindset for the team a little bit?
Yeah, I think obviously he's been awesome. And I think Forzy's been great as well. He's been a really good goalie. and both of them playing great for us. And also when Levy was there, the younger guy, he was great for us as well. So I think all the goalies we had in this year were awesome for us. And I think the biggest key for goalies being consistent. But that also helps when your team in front of you is consistent and plays the same way 95% of the time. And I think that helped the goalies too. But obviously, Ole is a great goalie. And you're really confident in him when you have him back there. If you maybe turn one over, he's saving you.
Yeah.
Saving your bacon.
And then have you guys been told anything on the inside about a possible new arena? And you hear news of going downtown. Like, are you guys like involved in that at all? Do you hear any news?
Yeah, I think we're getting a new arena. I think that's the plan. I think that was the plan when they sold the team. I think that's what it was, or when they bought the team. But yeah, I think it's gonna take a little bit. I don't know what the city. I heard it's always been hard here building a new rink. So I don't know if it's gonna take 4 or 5 or 6 years, but I think there's for sure gonna be a new rink.
What's it been like with new ownership? Like, I've talked to a few guys. Oh, who are you saying hello to there? Is that your old man?
No, Drake Bathurst.
Oh,
is he living with you? Get him over here.
He's just coming over for a haircut.
There he is.
Up?
There he is. What do you mean? You guys got a barber that comes to your house?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. These
Biz,
kids,
they're going to
man.
wax you guys. This team's going to wax you
Shut
guys.
the fuck up, Whit. You're telling me Max Domi doesn't have his own barber coming to the rink? Come on.
Drake, he's telling us that G gets chirped more than anyone in the locker room. That's unbelievable.
It's crazy. Yeah, the boys are all over him.
Poor veteran Biz. Guy can't get any love.
Who picks on him the most?
Oh, Timmy's up there.
Shabby.
Yeah.
Sure.
I never see a guy with over 1,100 points get chirped somebody.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's like, what am I doing? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
These young guys are taking over.
He's awesome. I think he loves it too. You guys know G. Like, I think he loves it. You know? Like, it fires him up.
He took Biz on a date to the NHL awards one time.
Yeah, he brought me to the NHL awards. I had 2 rooms the whole week, and I never even checked into the one he got me. That was like, boys, yeah. We went off the rails completely. I didn't even know Lundqvist. He won the Vezina. We were like partying at the club with him after he won. Like, it was like a Make-A-Wish Foundation for Biz. 4th line peasant.
All right, boys. I can't believe this guy's got his Leaf stuff on.
I know, it's crazy.
Buddy, this guy's a joke, Drake. I'm telling you, he's a joke.
I didn't even really want to interview Stutzle because I don't like tummy sticks before you meet in the playoffs, but I guess we had to. Yeah. Eating ice cream with the enemy, eh, Coach? What else was I going to ask you? Oh, I was asking you about ownership. Like, how much different has it been since? Is it how you say his last name? Anlauer?
Anlauer. Yeah.
Anlauer. Since he took over,
I never really got to have a chance to meet the previous owner, Eugene, because he was not in great condition. I think so. That was pretty unfortunate, but. Micah has been awesome. He's been really awesome. He puts a lot of effort in the team. I think he's almost at every game. So he just loves watching hockey as well. And what he said is that he wants to do everything for this team. And I think that's really impressive. And I think he loves this team as well, the same as we do. And I think that's a pretty special feeling. And he's always got our back. So it's awesome.
Another guy, we could kind of finish off with this, but it's a young, exciting team, and I don't think a ton of people knew about Jake Sanderson prior to the Four Nations, and now you hear the other NHL superstars from Team USA talking like, holy shit, basically, about this guy. He's also signed 8x8. I mean, I know you got a little bit more. You got bragging rights on him, but have you just seen the development just like go so uphill, and he's not even close to the ceiling yet, right?
Yeah, he's elite. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe him. His skating is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And his dedication to hockey is insane too. Like, he loves it. He does everything goes to bed at like 9 p.m.
Oh, he's
like
one of those robots?
Yeah, he's like, no, he's not a robot. He's kind of like chicky though. Like he likes to like some fancy stuff too. And he believes in that fancy stuff, but like he's just unbelievable. Like he's so good. Like we knew that right when he came in from college that how good he's gonna be, and yeah, we have all the confidence in him that he's gonna be a top 3 D-man in the league.
Are his ears that big in person? I'm serious.
He looks like my twin.
Who told you that?
Well, we saw his draft picture, and
what do you mean? Who
Little
told
Wit.
us? He's got fucking satellite dishes on the side of his head. Come on here. You don't think the Leafs players will be mentioning that on the ice round 1?
Yeah, Sanderson tears in Matthews' forehead. It evens itself out, Biz.
Hey, you fucking pipe down over there. Now, Stu, who would you want to play first round?
Oh God. Jesus.
You wanna hear my honest opinion?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really care. We're just happy we're in, and we want to play the best we can play, and yeah, we don't care who we're playing. I think we match up against any team pretty well.
Senator's PR guy is so happy because he just heard him say, "Want to hear my honest opinion?" and thought we may just get.
I think their heart dropped when they hear this. Their heart's gonna drop.
I just tried to get this going.
My heart dropped.
I'm not fucking scared. Fucking serve me Ottawa Sens Nation on a platter. Oh my God. I cannot wait to be chirping
I'm buying
online.
a Sens jersey. I'm buying a Stutzle Sens jersey now. Fuck this guy. Hey, any big purchases after you signed your ticket?
Yeah, I bought a car back home.
So will you spend every summer back in Germany? You're going back. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sick.
And where though? Do you go back to that small town, or are you in one of the big cities?
No, I live in Mannheim, where I played my last 3 years. My trainer's there, so yeah, I live there.
We got one last question, and that's presented by Roback. Use code Chiclets on roback.com for a generous 20% off your first purchase through the end of the week. That's CHICLETS on RHOBACK.com. 20% off hoodies, joggers, and more with code Chiclets. What's a good last question for
I got one. Can we do a Jimmy Stu dating show? Presented by Barstool and Chiclets
and Roback.
We'll even go back to Germany. Are the German women very intense and like calm demeanor like the men, like very stoic?
I think the best thing is 90% of them don't even know hockey, so I think that's
yes.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Is it like Sweden where you all can speak English at a young age over there?
Yeah, mostly. I think everybody kind of speaks English there.
Really?
Yeah.
And I guess another last question. For Americans and even Canadians listening, if you got to recommend one city, if you're going over to Germany, you got 3 nights, where are you sending me?
I think Munich.
So I've always heard Munich too, and I would think Berlin, but people say Munich is so fun.
Yeah, Munich is, you got to go in Oktoberfest. Yeah.
That's where you're gassing beers.
I'll hang with your dad. Me and your dad will get buckled.
Hey, isn't Berlin a little bit more gothic and dark? I've heard of these like underground clubs. Have you?
No, it is.
Do you know that crazy bouncer, the one who's got tattoos all over him at the Berlin club, where it opens up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and they just go all night? Have you ever heard of this?
No, I heard about a bunch of this, yeah, but I never went. So
that's what he did with his contract. He invested in that club. He's a part owner, Biz. Jimmy, unreal time chatting with you, buddy. You're a very, very fun player to watch. And my first ever NHL playoff game was in Ottawa. We were outshot 20-0 in the first period, and I'll never forget the crowd. So you're going to get to experience that. I'm happy for you, and good luck.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right,
This is the guy. It's
you showed me that guy.
Sven Marcourt. Here,
No,
I'm
I've
going to pull
never
up
heard of
his
that
picture.
guy.
You've never seen this guy, Jimmy Stu?
What the fuck?
He's the bouncer. He ain't letting you in there.
No chance.
No way. You guys are toast.
All right,
well,
buddy.
hey, buddy. Good luck in playoffs. If you play my Leafs, don't do anything stupid.
See you later,
Thanks,
dude.
Lars.
Guys, before we continue, we need to talk about Game Time. The NHL playoffs are finally here, and the only place to buy hard-to-get playoff tickets is Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NHL playoff tickets. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to puck drop. You could save up to 60% when buying last-minute tickets. Plus, on April 22nd for Earth Day, when you select and purchase a super deal, Game Time will plant a tree with the proceeds. I was looking at tickets for that first game in LA, Edmonton, LA. I'm just curious, should I fly out there with my wife like that? $112. It's an amazing deal for great seats. $112 on Game Time for LA Edmonton Game 1. What are you waiting for? I'm going to buy those Edmonton Oiler LA tickets right now and then maybe get in trouble because I'm flying out to LA for Game 1, or I'm going to try to. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL playoff tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Chiclets for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code Chiclets for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. Thank you so much to Tim Stutzle. What a guy. What a player. And my final message to Sens Army is I learned the hard way last year calling out the Vancouver Canucks fans and kind of getting a little battle going before the series. Biz is calling you out, Sens Army. Just torture this guy. I forget sending tweets of the Irish Travelers. Send the Irish Travelers back over to him. Really make this thing physical because this guy will wither, just as the Leafs have the past 52 or whatever years it's been. So thank you so much to Hockey Illuminati as well. We are on to the 2 Western Conference series that we haven't talked about yet. And the first one is the Vegas Golden Knights, the Silent Assassins versus the Minnesota Wild, who clinched at home Tuesday night, was it? And they're coming in healthy. So my initial thoughts are I think Vegas is going to run right over these guys. I think Vegas is so good, and they're the favorites in the West. But Minnesota now getting Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek back is enormous. Biz, I'm going to throw it to you first. Can I fill you in on a little news that broke today in which Zeev Buyem signed, leaving Denver, and then shockingly wasn't in the lineup for the must-win game they had against the Anaheim Ducks. But the tune changed today at practice where Zeev Buyem was running the Minnesota Wild's first power play.
What?
Yes.
Holy shit. Talk about throwing men into the fire.
I know.
And as many struggles as they had in the back half due to injuries and losing games, that Flower thing was pretty cool. I know they end up going to overtime. They throw Flower in net. He stands on his head, goes vintage Flower. They seal the deal against Anaheim where, they had to score in the last minute to tie that thing up to even get their playoff positioning locked in. So that morale in that building was unbelievable, and it was crazy to see. But I agree with you, Whit. Vegas, to me, is a favorite in the West, just given their path right now. I think it's a great matchup for them. And I think that they're going to beat them in 6 games. I don't mind Minnesota. I think Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek is going to make the world of difference. I'm shocked to hear that Buyem is running their power play. You would maybe envision them kind of handing it over to the guys who have got them in that position. But hey, man, when you got young studs available and they believe in them this much, you might as well throw him in the mix and get him that playoff experience as soon as he's available. So I just really don't have much either than the fact that Vegas will make work of these guys, and it's just a really, really tough draw for Minnesota.
Keith, I'll say this, that it's all about depth, right? You look at Vegas and they just keep coming at you, and I look at Minnesota and that top line, phenomenal. Eriksson Ek between Boldy and Kaprizov, they can play with any line in the league. It's after that is the issue. And Vegas, you look at all right, you got Eichel, you got Stone, you got these game breakers. This Dorofeyev this year. Dorofeyev, I don't know how. Holy shit. What a player. Actually, Liam Blutman at Barstool, who's just he's a knower of all sports. He's like, I've been talking about this guy for years. I was waiting for him to pop off. He knows Russian somehow. He's a sicko biz. You know who Blutman is? The redheaded guy.
Oh, yeah, I know
looks really high. He's classic.
He might be my favorite guy at the company.
He's awesome. He
Itchy
knows
eyes.
sports.
He looks amazing.
You got itchy eyes all the time.
I think that, like, all right, you got Jack Eichel, who the season he's had, the amount of points he put up, his game defensively with Dorofeev and Brett Howden on one line, then William Karlsson with Riley Smith and Olofsson, right? And that's not even including Stone, because this lineup I'm looking at, he didn't even play. So I think that back-end-wise, too, like, I love Spurgeon. I love Faber. I think Zeev Buyem could be great. You saw Makar hop into the playoffs years ago. I'm not saying he's Kale Makar, but I think this kid will be ready to go. But Vegas's D is probably the best in the league, right? I mean, you're able to come at people nonstop. McNabb's a hammer. He's laying the hammer constantly. He's physical in front, and he dishes it over to Shea Theodore. That guy can move the puck. He got some rest by getting injured at Four Nations. Then you got Haig and Petro. You got Hannafin possibly with Petro instead. Then Haig drops down. I just think Vegas is so dialed in. Aiden Hill's got his contract extension. It's a team that is going to be so difficult to knock out of the playoffs. Minnesota's had a phenomenal year. I mean, they missed Kaprizov for half the season, Eriksson Ek for such a long time. So many injuries. They still somehow got in, but they don't have the depth yet to compete with the big dogs.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And the Hartman suspension too. That's, hurt your team. I think the fact that Minnesota made the playoffs with as many injuries as they did, you got to tip your cap to Billy G and the belief that team has in each other. Obviously, the Flower story's been great. I'd give him the net. I'd give him the net first game. Be like, it's against your old team.
Gustafson's been so good. I was thinking that too. But like Wild fans are like, no, Gustafson. And then you always have the ability to throw in Flower if Gustafson struggles. He had a huge bounce back year. Remember, he was pretty bad last year. He was pretty awesome this season for the Wild. There's one thing that's really pissing fans off that want to see some good hockey, and that's Game 2 Biz, 11 Eastern start. Come on.
It's a school game. School. You're talking about
SpongeBob.
You're talking about
PM.
11 o'clock at night?
Yes.
Holy fuck, I didn't see that. Maybe they have like a concert beforehand or something like that. That's fucking nuts. That's way too late. Everybody's going to be in bed.
What if, though, guys? What if Biz? What if Kaprizov, who was like the favorite for MVP before his injury, what if he just takes over this series and he does what we've seen McDavid and Kucherov and these superstars McKinnon do, and he takes over and wins this series?
I just think it goes back to the fact that they got 6 Redwoods back there who are long, they're big, they protect the middle of the ice. Like, that's the one thing about this series. Like, who controls the middle of the ice better than Vegas right now with that lineup? Like, you're talking about Jack Eichel, Tomas Hertl, and Wild Bill in the middle of the ice, and then you're talking about those 6 long bodies. Do they have a defenseman under 6'1"? I think Shea Theodore might be their smallest defenseman. And because they can box out so easily, like, what's Aiden Hill not seeing, right? So they're just and then they have the complementary cheap pieces on the wing. So I just look at, like you said, I look at Vegas way too deep. Minnesota's only fucking prayer is the fact that Kaprizov is shooting Roman candles out of his ass and goes all world on them, and I just don't see that happening. They've played in the Western Conference against the toughest teams all year. They haven't had an issue all season. I don't see it being an issue now, especially when it's go time. So I got Vegas. And listen, I'm saying 6 games. I think that's being nice enough to Minnesota, the fact that they can pull off 2. Do you guys even have it going that long?
I have Vegas in 5. Minnesota, it'll be, I think, 10 years since they get out of the first round. Kind of crazy. They just can't get over the hump. But maybe with all the cap room coming, there's just brighter futures ahead. Booyam next year, but it's not their time yet. Vegas in 5.
No. Yeah.
What do you got, Jans?
Either Vegas in 5 or 4. I think it's going to be light work because what's the famous saying? Defense wins championships, and that's how they built this team from the back end out. And I think this series is going to just be exhibition for Vegas. I'm going to go 4. Vegas in 4.
Okay, going for a sweep there. I think that's our first predicted sweep, I think. But that brings us to the final series. And, buddy, I feel really bad because last episode, while previewing the 4 series that we decided to do first, we didn't mention congratulations to the Winnipeg Jets and their fan base for a President's Trophy and one of the most incredible seasons that I didn't see coming. I doubted you again. Army was on your train last year, and the regular season was phenomenal, and the first round was a disaster, but you did it again. You get the best goalie in the world, and you won a President's Trophy. Now, some people say that's a curse. But one thing that would, I think, piss off Canada is if the Winnipeg Jets were the team that brought the cup back home. I don't know why. I just feel like Leafs fans and Habs fans and Oilers fans are like, what the fuck? The Jets did it. They were in Atlanta. But the Winnipeg Jets got a tough bounce here, boys. And that is facing the red-hot St. Louis Blues. They had a little bit of a skid, and it looked like it was locked in, but they ended up figuring it out, getting in, and they have, did you know this? Robert Thomas leading the league in scoring since the Four Nations? Is that true, Biz? Is that true?
Yeah, he's up there. He's up there. He's had a heck of a run. And the one thing about them is they got a lot of young legs in that lineup. And when we were talking about them throughout that 12-game win streak, or maybe it was 13, is their guys between the ages of 23 and 26. Now, Holloway is not going to be back, correct?
Sucks.
That is such a significant loss because he was just he was an energy bug out there and just provided tons for that lineup. But the reason why I don't like St. Louis as much is because I just think they're too thin on the back end, and it's they've lost a few guys due to injury. And, you got all that energy kind of throughout that 12, 13 game winning streak that you've given up to get there. I just don't know if they have the depth in order to get it done. Now, Binnington could stand on his head like he did at the Four Nations. I think that mentally he has the edge going into this series on Hellebuck. But if they can get the confidence rolling early, Winnipeg, I could see them running away with this. As far as their forward lines, man, fucking well-oiled machine. They just come at you in waves. They're heavy. They're skilled. They could put the puck in the back of the net. I mean, the list goes on with guys. Maybe the one concern is second line center position, but it's not like the center position for the St. Louis Blues.
That's your guy too.
That's my guy, Nemestikov, but it's not like St. Louis's center ice is going to light you on fire like compared to what Winnipeg has. So I think I have this also going to 6 games. I think it'll be very competitive. St. Louis has the experience of having gone on long runs. So I just think that Winnipeg is going to get over that mental edge. It's not like we saw last year. They don't have a tough draw like Colorado or Vegas. This is going to be the year where Winnipeg goes on a run, boys. They can get it done as long as they stay healthy. Ehlers, a guy who's up for contract, has a lot to prove in order to get his payday in free agency. He's been apparently behind the scenes very vocal about he wants to be paid like a first line winger. Well, here's your opportunity to fucking light it up and get that payday. I'm looking at him to have a big first round as well as a playoff run, but too many weapons, too deep. Winnipeg's going to roll over St. Louis in 6.
Oh, you might have flipped me a little bit. I was leaning towards St. Louis a little bit, just because of the whole Binnington, Four Nations. I just feel like once Binnington gets his mind games in somebody else's soul, like he's already won it. But what I've loved about St. Louis since Montgomery came over is the young guys buying in defensively. You see Kyrou, Thomas, those guys aren't cheating to go on the offense. They're not cheating to get points. They're playing the right way, and they're still getting their points. So they've earned what they've got. Get a tough draw with Winnipeg. But if Winnipeg doesn't win this series, Biz, they're the Leafs of the West. So they need to win this series as bad as the Leafs need to win every series this year. So I'm going with Winnipeg as well. I think they're too deep. They're too big. Tough building to play in, especially in playoff time. It's I don't think it's going to be as easy as, you said 6 games, so not too easy, but I think it's going to be a really tough series. And I also think six games, but I think some hell's going to be, put on Winnipeg too, because St. Louis is going to play hard as shit because, they've been fighting for their lives since Montgomery came over, and I think they're willing to do it for another 7 games.
They won. St. Louis has won 13 of their last 16 games. So you're coming in with this vibe. Nobody believed in you in January. You end up getting in. I think it's going to go 7, but I got Winnipeg. I got that home ice. The white out there is incredible. They packed that little street outside the arena. Looks like complete madness. Biz often talks about Winnipeg, very underrated for like good-looking women. So that's something that you know is popping into Biz's head as he picks the Jets. As much as it sucks that Holloway's out, like Snuggerud's come in and look good. He scored his first goal the other night. That was a nice goal in front of the net, one of those dirty ones. But yeah, I just think Winnipeg, like, dude, Kyle Connor, 90 points this season. The guy's phenomenal. You got Scheifele. Yeah, Nemestikov, that's a question, but Perfetti's really good. That third line, Biz, I think you've called it the best third line in the NHL in Winnipeg, where they're constantly in your face, and Lowry's an amazing captain. He's got Tanev, who they brought over at the deadline with Appleton on the other side of him. So I think that it's more about Winnipeg being just waiting and waiting for the playoffs again after last year. Like the disgust, the feeling that they had, and then the regular season that they put through and had to then be able to finally be here now. I think it's going to be too much. And the only way it could happen, which is why I think it's going to go 7, is Binnington could go complete sicko mode. You know how psychotic he is, and just shut the door on Winnipeg. That could be the absolute worst case scenario for Jets and the fan base there. But I think you get it done, and I think you get it done in 7. So
7
X factors.
X factor.
What do you got for your X factor?
I got Ehlers. He's got to. If he wants his payday,
That's
he's
a
got to
great
play
call,
like he
yeah.
wants that payday, and he can
Is
buzz
he
up and down the
playing.
And he hasn't been good in prior playoffs. Do they have him on the IR as we speak?
Him and Velarde are both out right now, and I don't know. G, quick, maybe.
He is week to week with a foot injury. ESPN.
Really,
says.
he's not even going to be playing.
And what about Velarde?
Gabe Velarde is day to day, so it's more likely we'll see him.
Okay. I think this is going to be a war, though. Like, I think they're going to be killing each other, and I love watching games in Winnipeg for the playoffs. Final thing on Winnipeg, should have said this earlier. Congratulations to Neil Pionk. He signs, I believe, 7-year, $42 million extension. G, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you guys remember, he was traded over.
That's a six-year contract with a $7 million AAV.
Okay, so I had the numbers backwards, but dude, he was traded over for Trouba, and people kind of like, oh, Neil Pionk, he had a good start with the Rangers. Well, Trouba's no longer with the Rangers, and this guy's signing a $42 million deal. So Morrissey is their horse, so good both ends of the ice, but Pionk's been incredible since he got there, and to see a guy sign for that much dough, $42 million. Congrats, Neil Pionk. And congrats again to Jets fans. President's Trophy. Can you break the curse? Can you bring the cup back to Canada? It remains to be seen. So the playoffs, what a regular season we had. Holy shit, Biz. What a regular season we had. We actually have another signing, Biz. And this is maybe a little bit of a Chiclets bump, but your boy, the one-on-one interview, great interview by you, by the way.
Yeah, Nicky Dowd, 2 times 3.
Whew,
good for him.
I was a little confused. I don't know if you saw the locker room announcement. Spittin Chiclets had it on social media. Yeah.
Did he chug a beer?
I think he chugged a beer, which was amazing.
That before morning skate?
I was like, did they just skate? But if people didn't see it, so
it maybe was a Diet Coke because Ovi drinks Diet Coke. Maybe that was like a homage to Ovi in that situation. It kind of looked like a Coors Light, but it looked like that anyway. But well deserved, man. He's worked very hard to perfect his craft, and he's a great bottom 6 forward. Wins a ton of faceoffs. He plays hard, and I was fortunate enough to win a Calder Cup with him. I don't know if you guys knew that I won a Calder Cup 10 years ago.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Congrats.
Manchester Monarchs.
That's sick.
Is that LA's team?
Yeah, LA's farm team.
Wow. I saw Jeff Marek tweet out or said on his show, best 4th-line center in the league, he called Nick Dowd.
One of them. That's
an amazing compliment. And but for anyone who didn't see the clip, they were going over some video, and Spencer Carberry at the end said, "All right, I got a little announcement. I want to talk about this guy. He's done so much for the organization, blah blah blah, and he's now going to be able to retire a Washington Capital." I was like, you imagine Dowd's like, wait a minute, that's it. At the end of 2 years, I'm done.
I did hear him say that. I'm like, oh fuck, how old's Dowder?
I
maybe
checked. I was
yeah, I think he'd be 37 by the time.
28.
Yeah. He's, oh fuck.
Yeah, he did say it. That's cool.
Yeah. So, and I think Ovi spoke up, like talking about maybe this young man, and Ovi's like, me? No, I'm just going to chug a beer in your face. I'm nicked out. So, Biz, I kind of want to ask you, let me list off a bunch of things. And Keith, I want your opinion as well. Favorite moment of the year? You know, like basically going over this regular season, like we had the Four Nations. We had Ovi breaking the goal record. We had the Utah Hockey Club's first inaugural season. Sam Rosen's retirement tour for the Rangers. Mikko Rantanen traded twice. Sidney Crosby breaks the record for most years, 20 in a row, over a point per game. We had the quickest 3-goal comeback in league history when the Canucks played Dallas and came back. The quickest OT goal in league history when Brandon Montour scored in Seattle. Mark-Edward Vlasic set the all-time record for block shots. Kiefer Sherwood set the single-season record for hits. This is my favorite one that Grinelli threw in here. Alexei Protas set the Belarusian single-season points record. That's a classic one. That, I guess, rivals Ovi's goal record, breaking an NHL all-time Wayne Gretzky record. Nikolai Ehlers sets the Danish points record. Sergei Bobrovsky becomes the fastest goalie to hit 400 wins. Rod Brindamore becomes the fastest coach to 300 wins. And we had the most total goalie goals in a single season with Nedeljkovic, Sorokin, and Gustafsson getting one.
Cool.
Favorite moment of the season, listing off, I think it's the Belarusian points record.
Yeah,
I would say
end the show
outside
on
of that list you just mentioned, probably me saying that Ehlers is going to be the first round X Factor and he's week to week.
I thought your X Factor was. I thought your X Factor was. Will he be in the lineup?
Yeah, his X-ray factor. The moment that happened, I think it was last night. They did their fan appreciation, and the woman who tweeted out to Brandon Gallagher that she had purchased the Hockey Fights Cancer jersey. She was brought on the ice and presented it to Brandon Gallagher. I think most of you know that his mother passed away due to cancer. And when that happened and she found out, she sent the tweet out. And, you know, luckily the organization was able to get in touch with her and they brought her down. And it was a pretty emotional moment on the ice for Brandon Gallagher and I'm sure the rest of his family. And that woman who was able to give him that jersey. So I thought that was a really cool moment. But like you listed off, there's been so many cool things and amazing things that happened throughout the course of this year. And last year I said it was the greatest regular season in NHL history. Like this might have topped it, or at least it rivals it. So the league's thriving. It's been a great 24 months, and now we get to fucking follow it up with an unreal slate of playoff series. And I can't wait for puck drop on Saturday on TNT.
When I think of just greatness and longevity and what they've done for our game, you think Sidney Crosby and being a point per game guy for 20 years, even, when he came in the league, point per game was crazy. It's, there wasn't a ton of guys doing it. There was, he's just changed the game on and off the ice, what he's, done for the league. Just been a pure class model citizen for the game that we all love and know. And I would give it to him. Ovi, it was one of those things you kind of knew in the last year or two that it was going to happen at some point. That's obviously insane to score that many goals, but I got to give it to Sid.
Yeah, I think mine is just Four Nations, like not knowing what to expect and then having that be what we got to watch was just something I'll never forget. I mean, it was crazy enough where we've seen like guys out injured since then, multiple guys. And overall, like that just for the middle of the year when it's usually the All-Star game, to have that in Montreal and Boston, I'll never forget. I'll never forget that Saturday night in Montreal, the opening puck drop. Unfortunately, I will also never forget Connor McDavid breaking Ryder's heart sitting right next to me with the OT winner, but an incredible, awesome thing that the NHL put together. So it's just been great, and Biz said it best. We're on to the best time of year, spring and the playoffs. I guess one thing I did forget to mention that was a positive for this year that maybe wasn't the case last year is, Biz, you didn't get any coaches fired. So that's a win. Good job. Good job there. Great work. And we got to remind everyone, playoff schedule. We have Chiclets on Monday. Probably, we're hoping for around 11:30 noon Eastern. We're going to be recording early in the morning, and then Fishy's going to do his thing, edit that thing up, and get it out to you as quick as possible. We got game notes live on Wednesday. I believe that's 12 Eastern every Wednesday?
Correct.
Okay, awesome. And then Friday, we're back to you again, right? Right around hopefully 11:30 noon. We appreciate your support. We hope we can bring you guys everything that happens this playoff season with candor and humor. I don't even know if candor's a word. I might have just made that up.
Me neither.
But it's the,
Sounds great.
The playoffs.
I think you were
hair
thinking of Carpenter.
The hair dye's getting to me. Thank you to Tim Stutzle. Thank you to Hockey Illuminati. And thank you to all you guys. You're the best. Let's go Stanley Cup playoffs. Here we go.
Let's go Leafs.